All right, everybody, here we go. Today is Wednesday, May 13th, 2026. My name is Rob Carter. Welcome to the future. #1 radio / broadcast in America. Before we get started, always remember the best way to support the show is to like and share it. We're trying to get out to as many people as we possibly can. Listen, doesn't mean any money for us. I know people think you're trying to make money off of it. We're trying to get the message out. Our money comes from local advertisers. How many times do I have to say that, Isaiah? If we make money any other way, that'd be great. But right now, it's local advertising. We just want to get that message out to more and more people. Isaiah and I are going to do a world tour here soon. We're going to be in Florida for James Fishback. We're going to be in the Panhandle of Florida. Then we're going to South Carolina. Then we're going to Washington, D.C.
And then Israel.
In Israel. We're getting paid for that, of course. And then we have I think I'm emceeing for James Fishback on the 20th. and I'm emceeing an event for the Republican Party in Osage County, Missouri. That should be very interesting. I'm there with Heather Overstreet. So that's just going to be an interesting situation for us. But again, like and share. That's the nicest thing you can do for us, even more than money, is just to spread the message. Like and share, like and share, like and share. We bring you news through our lens. People always want, and they get upset with you if you don't share their opinion on the way things are. We don't really make friends with all the people that we deal with. We really don't. We see it for what it is. We may like people, but we may disagree with them, and we try to bring you the most accurate information we possibly can on a day-to-day basis. And trust me when I tell you, Isaiah and I work very hard at trying to figure out what the truth is. Great show in store for you today. We have Flat Earth Dave at 10. He's made a big name for himself, this Flat Earth Dave guy. Flat Earth Dave believes the earth is flat. We're going to ask him all the relevant questions. If you have any questions for Flat Earth Dave, join us in the chat. You can reach out to me on the text line as well. 314-322-ROB, 314-322-ROB. If you have any stories for us, at the Rob Show host at gmail.com. We should put all that up because a lot of them come from everywhere. It'd be nice if they were consolidated into the email. At the Rob Show host at gmail.com. If you have any stories, tips, things you want us to cover, people you want us to interview, we'll do our best to get them in here. And don't forget, the show is always sponsored by, first and foremost, peopleslobbymo.com. We've been getting a lot of donations, a lot of people signing up. I'm overwhelmed with it. It's so fantastic. Listen, our group is loosely affiliated. It's people that have differing opinions than me, but we all look to seek the truth. That's what we're after. We are trying to put pressure on our government to be honest with us. We want to draw them out into the sunlight. We want to have public conversations with them. Right here in Missouri, things that are going on in this state are going on in your state. It's the same everywhere because the federal government bought out the states. We just use Missouri because Missouri, in my opinion, growing up here, we're a very connected state. You cannot hide from the people of Missouri. We know everybody in every corner of this state. We try to draw them out into the sunlight, have conversations with them, find out what money is guiding the policies in this state. We bring that information to you, and then you can make a decision on how you want to handle it. Can't be more simple than that, can it, Isaiah?
Super simple.
peopleslobbymo.com, peopleslobbymo.com. Now, again, people have been complaining because we have not updated the website. I hear you, and I agree with you, by the way. It's frustrating for us. We only have so much money to do these things, but if you just sign up, you're going to see that website begin to develop. We have somebody that is working on it now, so we'll be updating that website on a day-to-day basis so you get more and more information to make decisions that will affect your life. Like and share, like and share, like and share. peopleslobbymo.com. Please sign up. If you don't want to donate, just sign up, get the information, so we can all stay on the same page. And then let me get some advertisers. They're just due because they are the ones that make it all work. And boy, it's been fantastic with these advertisers. Who do you want to start? Want to do Rockit Careers first?
Let's do it. I saw Mitch in here, so he gets special treatment today.
I was texting back and forth with Mitch. He is one of my favorites. RockitCareers.com. Again, Mitch and Brian Mitch especially. I've been friends with Mitch since I was a young kid in high school. Just an absolutely fantastic person. He's been a big supporter of this show. Again, this is a nationwide operation. So if you have a small to medium-sized business and human resources cannot get the job done for you, they have talent recruiting right there on the screen, outplacement services. They bring the right candidates to you. So if you have a small to medium-sized business and the people that you're interviewing just don't seem to have it on the ball, if you understand what I'm saying, they vet these candidates for you. They bring the right people to your business. They do a terrific job with it because they have a network of people that they've developed from coast to coast over many, many years. There he is on the screen, my man, Mitch. And then secondly, if you're out of a job or you hate your job, that's probably more like it. You just hate your job. You just do it because you got to survive. You got to pay the bills. You got to take care of the family, but you're really not satisfied with where you're at in life. Think of rockitcareers.com, ROCKIT careers.com. Get in touch with these people. If you want to change careers, if you want to start something new, they'll help you on your way to a better life. You know, when you enjoy your job, life is much better. We know that, don't we, Isaiah? You and I both have very high pay.
Yeah.
Say, listen, this is what we want to do. We want to get into the information dissemination business. We want to have an effect on our world. This is what we like doing, and we're going to do it, and we're going to hope that God puts us on the right track so we can make a living doing it. And here we are.
We should rename the show to Positive Propaganda.
Right. Don't make me cough.
We're always talking about is the propaganda.
Don't make me laugh.
Right?
I start laughing. I'm going to start coughing.
I know.
And hacking in the whole thing. Still not over that yet, but I do feel better. RockitCareers.com. There you go. There you are on the screen. ROCKIT careers.com. You can reach him at 636-778-2419, 636-778-2419, 636-778-2419. Rockit, ROCKIT careers.com. Who we got on the list? Who you
Valvoline Express Care.
Where did I do with my Valvoline? That's my man, Tony Clark. Tony Clark, big, proud supporter of the show. He's been great from the very beginning. And like I say, if you don't have their sticker on your window, hard for me to be your friend because these people just do such a fantastic job for us. And I appreciate it very much. And all I got to say is you're going to get an oil change somewhere. They have competitive pricing, 15 minutes from bay to on your way. Can't ask for more than that. Quick, efficient oil changes, no appointments, no sales pressure, all Valvoline branded products. If you're in Missouri, they have locations in Warrenton, Cape Girardeau, St. Peter's Parkway, Mid Rivers Mall Drive, Troy, Illinois, Lime Ferry Road. I'd like to see that sticker on your car. It means a lot to me. When I do see that, it means you're paying attention to what we're trying to sell, which is a community of like-minded people that want real news, real information, not the corporate nonsense that we get, not all the crap that you find online, not in your algorithms, but real, honest news. The one thing about us, Isaiah, is I grew up in Missouri. Everybody knows who I am. They know that I'm not a Fed. They know that I'm not doing it for some nefarious reason. I'm connected to this state. Went to multiple high schools, multiple middle schools, multiple grade schools. I coached baseball here in town. I mean, I have 5 kids. People know who I am. You don't have to worry about me doing something for a reason that might be nefarious, I guess is the best way to put it. Valvoline Express Care. If you want to go to Valvoline Express Care, just look up their information. They might have coupons on there from time to time, but Valvoline Express Care, my good friend Tony Clark, big supporter of the show, and I appreciate it very much. Again, locations in Warrenton, Cape Girardeau, St. Peter's Parkway, Mid Rivers Mall Drive, Troy, Illinois, and Lime Ferry Road. Always remember, 15 minutes from bay to on your way. Quick, efficient oil changes with nice, happy people. Tony Clark, my man, Valvoline Express Care. Who's next?
GraceHauling.com, GraceHauling.com.
Yeah, see, you're getting the hang of it. GraceHauling.com, GraceHauling.com, GraceHauling.com. My good friend Gary Schneider. GraceHauling.com is, you're going to see their trucks, their cans everywhere in the St. Charles County and around the state of Missouri because they are absolutely fantastic people. Outstanding customer service, competitive pricing. If you're a business, they have 2, 4, 6, and 8-yard dumpsters. Business has been around since 1998. I said, Gary, what do you want me to say about your business? And he said, Rob, but for the grace of God, I would not have such a thriving business. Great people. Everybody knows them in town. Gary and Karen Schneider. If you're a residential customer, just think trash, recyclables, yard waste, and bulk pickups. Every time you think trash, every time you think rubbish, think GraceHauling.com, GraceHauling.com, GraceHauling.com. And then finally, show off and running is my new general contractor, ECS Roofing and Exteriors. Great man. Here we go. Looking for roofing excellence? There you go. ECS Roofing and Exteriors. This is our general contractor. And this, we have to drive people into ECS Roofing and Exteriors. So if you have siding damage, roofing, if you need new deck, gutters, garage doors, custom exterior metal, residential or commercial, doesn't matter to me. New construction, storm damage, free licensed inspections. This is the one advantage that he was trying to explain to me when I first started talking to him. He said, Rob, I'm an insurance adjuster. I know how the business works. People are going to knock on your door. They're going to say, listen, you got a little siding problem over here. I'm going to get insurance to take care of it for you. They have no idea whether insurance is going to take care of it for you. They just want to tell you that to get you into their web and into their system, and then they're going to hassle you to get some work done. I know whether insurance is going to take care of it for you. This is what I do. So if I see your roof, I can tell you right away the insurance is going to work with us or they're not. ECS Roofing and Exteriors, been in business for 30 years. Great people. Proud to have him on board. Larry Evans is the guy. ECS Roofing and Exteriors. If you have a problem, you just call me because we'll have a conversation. Good people at the right price at the right time. ECS Roofing and Exteriors. You can check out their work on Facebook. He says, Rob, it's just less expensive to advertise on Facebook. That's the way I like to do it. Check them out. ECS Roofing and Exteriors. And now it is time to shine in the Show Me State. Are you ready?
That's right, baby.
All right, couple stories I want to get to. Should we just start with the one that I'm most fascinated by?
Yeah.
This is the MMTLP story, and I think I'm on the outs with a certain part of the MMTLP community because I believe in debate. Somebody just forwarded me an old X post that I made where I said one of the ladies that I like, I have no problem with her. I think she has a problem with me now, but I said she claimed to me that other people would not debate her. I had her on my radio show, and then when I wanted her to debate, she apparently didn't want to debate because she didn't think the person she was debating was worthy. Although, Isaiah, you know the story. She asked us for the debate.
Yeah.
Right? She asked us for the debate, put it together, and then she wanted to have
book it, Rob.
Just book it. That's what she told us to do. So we booked it, and then apparently that wasn't enough. And I don't know what to make of that. I'm not making any I don't know. I don't want to make any judgment on it. All I'm saying is when you ask us to book a debate and I run a show here, I expect a debate because I'm trying to inform our viewers. I'm trying to get information out to people. I want to help the people of MMTLP, period. Regardless of whether they like me, don't like me. I think that the investors in MMTLP somehow, some way got defrauded. And I want to bring resolution to that. And I will not rest until that happens, regardless of whether people like me or don't like me. That's not the point. As we said earlier, Isaiah, you know it to be the truth. If you think that we're going to be your buddy and ignore the truth, this is not the show for you. I'm friends with I got enough friends, Isaiah. I talk about it all the time. I got plenty of friends. I don't need any more friends. Okay. We do this because we're truth seekers. We are people that want to find the truth. And a lot of times people try to cozy up to me, especially since I got into broadcasting, even when I was in the shoe business, right? People try to cozy up to you because you have power. When we have the power of communication and we can get things out to the Republican Party, the Democrat Party, we can get information out that makes a difference. So people want to cozy up to you. They want to be nice to you because they have a motive in mind. We don't buy into that. We just don't. We like people. It's not personal with us. We believe that the country is going in the wrong direction. We believe the state of Missouri is going in the wrong direction. And when we see that, we bring it to your attention. And then the people of Missouri can do whatever they want, right? You can take that information. You can ignore it. You say, Rob, I disagree with you. I love AI data centers. I can't wait to get more AI data centers. I love it so much. I love the idea that we're going to move income tax to usage taxes. It's going to be fantastic for me on my fixed income. It's going to be just beautiful. I absolutely love it. That's your decision.
I was just arguing with some people on Facebook about this because the NOMO tax page or something like that. I think there's a Facebook page like that. And I just made a little snarky comment on there. I was like, oh yeah. And in Missouri's number 12 and the highest sales tax rate in the country. And people were getting after me. They were like, no, it's not true. It's not true. And I was like, yeah, just here's the link. Go look at the chart. You can click there, sort by combined local and state sales tax rates. And number 12 is Missouri at 8.44%. And
absolutely. When I told you when we started, I remember sitting down with you the first time because I had 4 people that we were talking about producing the show. Right. And I said, well, when I talked to you, I said, I'd really prefer it to be you because you have the technical expertise. You got a background in sales. You have a background in social media. You're perfect for what I need on the show. And you can talk politics all day long. You're an alderman. You kind of know what's going on. But I told you from the very beginning, you're going to have people that hate you no matter what you do. That's what I said. I gave up on it. I don't know. I can't let it bother me anymore. I have so many people that want to throw slings and arrows at me. I have people that I thought were friends of mine that are trying to sabotage me on social media. You checking this out, by the way? You seeing this?
It's wild.
These are people that were really close with me that were in my inner circle and so forth.
Even someone that I won't say his name, but someone you got a job was throwing FUD at you.
Well, not even gave a job, gave money to, and now they're throwing shade at me constantly. And I said, okay, I see it. I know who you work for. That's the difference. I don't even begrudge it. I really don't.
Yeah.
I just know that they are not in the truth-seeking business. They are in the financial freedom business because they are making money off of selling concepts from the people they work for, and not necessarily the truth. I'm a truth seeker, so it's a little bit different. All right, let's get into this MMTLP story. So this woman's name is Cynthia West. Now, the way I understand this is Cynthia West was involved with this whole MMTLP group from the very beginning. This is all I know about it. All right.
Yeah, she is. Here, I'll tell you. Someone just sent me a DM to explain. She is a co-founder of Retail United Advocacy Group.
What is that?
I don't know. That's what they apparently it's strong advocate for MMTLP. That's someone from the MMTLP community that sent me that.
So now you have a situation where this is a hotly contested race. Now, the way Cynthia West plays into this, and I don't know her. She doesn't ring true to me. I guess I will let the audience decide here in a minute. We'll play a clip of her where she's being interviewed, but it seems a little too perfect, if you understand what I'm saying. So you have this hotly contested race down in Kentucky with this Gomer Pyle guy, Ed Gallerin, I guess is his name. He's running against Thomas Massey. I watched
Gomer Pyle.
He's Gomer Pyle. I watched him speak at a Donald Trump event. This is not a guy that would gain your confidence through communication. Let's put it to you that way. Okay. So he is going up against Thomas Massey. Now, Thomas Massey, I don't know whether Thomas Massey is a good guy. I don't know if he has sexual problems or if he's a sexual deviant. I don't know any of that stuff. All I know about Thomas Massey is I'm a part of the John Birch Society. All right. The John Birch Society, when I went to meet with the guy to sign me up for the John Birch Society, because I like what they stand for. I said, who is in your opinion? And I said, in Missouri and in in Washington, D.C., I said, who is the very best at voting with the Constitution? And he didn't hesitate for a second. He said, oh, in Washington, D.C., it's Thomas Massey. I said, so Thomas Massey follows the Constitution more than anybody out there. He said, by far, Thomas Massey is the one who votes with the Constitution, right? In Missouri, I think the guy that votes with the Constitution is Bryant Wolfen, right? These guys are guided by the Constitution, which if you don't let the Constitution guide you, you're going to have tyranny. That's the whole point of the Constitution. It is to protect you from your government. So when the government thinks they know more than you and they start making laws because they think it's best for you, and then they convince you that it's best for you, but they get outside of the guardrails of the Constitution, then you ultimately end up in tyranny because you have somebody thinking that they know better than you. And this is a government of by and for the people. That's my take. That's what I believe in. Is that okay, Isaiah?
I think we're still free to have an opinion as of Wednesday, May 13th at 9:25 a.m. So far. It might change while Trump's in China. It might change, but we'll see.
This is where I'm at right now today. I believe we should follow the Constitution. I know it's a foreign thought for many people, but I believe we should follow the Constitution. So the Cynthia West, as I understand it, she is now coming out and saying that right after Thomas Massey's wife died, she had some form of a sexual relationship with him. I think her name is Victoria Sparks. She gets a job. This is the way I understand it. And if people from MMTLP want to, and I'll ask you to man the chat if you don't mind, Isaiah. But the way I understand it, the Cynthia West is involved with MMTLP. So she's in their groups. She's involved before the whole operation where the U3 halt took effect and so forth. She's involved in this conversation. She's aligned with the MMTLP community. Then she goes out and she ends up having a sexual relationship with Thomas Massey. Then Thomas Massey's confidant, a woman by the name of Victoria Sparks, she's in Congress. She hires this woman, I guess on a temporary basis, and then lets her go, or her time runs out or something of this nature. And then with all of this controversy going on between Thomas Massey and Donald Trump and factions within both, she comes out and says she has a sexual relationship with him. He offers her $5,000. She doesn't take it. Now she's saying she has an NDA for $60,000 from Thomas Massey, but she's not proven any of this, as I understand it. There's no evidence of this. It's just her word for it. For example, I could say that who's a beautiful woman in today's world? Popular person.
I don't even know popular people.
I mean, one celebrity who's beautiful. I don't even know who they are.
What's the lady what's the lady? We'll use the lady we're talking about today, Carrie.
Brigitte Belair?
Brigitte Belair, yeah, she was Miss America, right?
Okay, so I could say that I had a sexual relationship with her, and she's trying to keep that on the down low because she's married and I'm married. She's trying to keep it on the down low. Doesn't mean that it's true, right? It has nothing to do with anything. It just means that I'm making this accusation against her. And when it comes to sexual relationships, you can make any kind of claim you want. Yeah. So I don't know if she has any proof. I have no idea what's going on with her. I'm not saying that she's lying because I don't know. And if she was taken advantage of by Thomas Massey, I think that you have to weigh somebody's character into the equation. But nonetheless, I don't know that any of this is true. But the timing is a little bit suspect because now she's bringing this story to the light, and you have this hotly contested race down in Kentucky, a very small district, by the way, in Kentucky, and you have this fight going on between the Donald Trump people who are with this Ed Omer. I'm telling you, Gomer Pyle. Gomer Pyle is Elmer Fudd, either one, right? That's who he reminds me of. And the fact that this guy is getting $10 million from AIPAC, right? So AIPAC is flooding money into his campaign to overthrow Thomas Massey. And then you have the question is this just another theatrical event, or is there really a fight going on between the Trump people and the Massey people? These are the things I'd like to get to the bottom of. Any response from the MMTLP people? Is there anything that you see out there?
First, though, before we get to the responses, here we go. There's Gomer Pyle for anyone who doesn't know.
You don't remember that show, do you?
Oh, yeah, of course I do. That's what I was saying is my growing up, those were the only shows we didn't have any any TV. But someone was saying, I'm trying to find because their chat not
Carter on there. My wife, when we got married, we have a picture of her, and she's got a T-shirt that says Sergeant Carter on there because she was to run the show at the house. If you understand what I'm saying. I'm Private Carter. It's you guys t-shirts. Thank
Let's
you.
see. There's someone that was chatting, and I couldn't see their chat's not showing up here, so I'm trying to find it. They said, I think that oh, thank you, appreciate you.
You find it?
Yeah. So this person Finn on here in the chat said that they are also one of the founders of Retail United Advocacy Group, fighting for transparency and exposing corruption in our markets. Syntax, who is Cynthia, is a co-founder and strong advocate for the MMTLP community, a ticker that was U3 halted by the SEC and FINRA, trapping 68,000 investors and robbing them of their money. Some committed suicide over it. That's where the advocacy began. Syntax, as I call her, has been fighting that fight for over 3 years. She took a break from Retail United Advocacy Group to pursue other things. One thing about her is that she is really smart. She wouldn't lie about something like this. She knows false allegations would destroy her life. She's a good person. She has her flaws like all of us do. She stands strong in her beliefs as an advocate for transparency while exposing corruption in our markets. The bigger story here is that the MMTLP U3 halt, the 73 signatures signed by congressional leaders, and a letter on Donald Trump's desk asking for transparency in the MMTLP injustice. We've already addressed the letter, but it all ties together. The deeper you dive into it, you see the corruption is embedded deep in our markets that the corrupt use as piggy banks. Insider trading is nothing compared to that. We investors have uncovered. It's deep and the greed is unfathomable. It's time for real change. The revolution has begun. We, the people, have had enough. Will not stop exposing the corruption and bringing change.
Well, I 100% agree with that. That's why when people get on me from either side of this MMTLP debate, I say, listen, I know the markets are here's what I would say. I'm somebody who's been following government for 5 years now, every single day of my life. I don't take any days off. Even on vacation, I am glued to information that's coming out of, and I read the bills. I pay attention to the executive orders. I don't as much as I used to because I don't have time. But for 2 years, I was reading the executive orders. I was reading the legislation. I was checking out these bills. I would go into sometime to read these bills, Isaiah, and they're 1,800 pages long. Now, you just have to ask yourself, there's no way these people are voting on something that's 1,800 pages long. So the question immediately begins, what are you voting on? Do you even know what you're voting on? Because the devil's in the details, of course. So you start to recognize that there's corruption everywhere. I mean, unfathomable corruption going on in our country to the point where you can't even believe that it's happening in this country where you wave the flag and you love the freedoms and you love the liberty, you love the history, you love the idea of America. But it's so corrupt now, you don't even recognize it anymore. And I think people are starting to wake up to it. It's just a matter of, do they want to do something about it? Do you want to just allow it to happen, or do you want to do something about it? I choose to try to make an effort, as little or as big as it gets. I want to make an effort to make my country strong, healthy, unified. We're always going to have arguments, but we should do it in a gentlemanly way, I guess I should say. We need to have intellect again, instead of just throwing darts at everybody and having corruption and then having social media algorithms divide us all the time. That's just my take.
Sometimes I want to bang my head against the wall talking to people.
It's pie in the sky a little bit. People go, Rob, I say, listen, through God, anything is possible. That's what I believe. And every morning I write, Jesus, please put the words in my mouth, point me in the right direction. If I'm off the rails, put me back in the middle. Just make sure that I'm doing right by Jesus. That's the way I look at it. You don't have to look at it that way. And I don't judge you if you don't. If you see it through a different lens and you're a good person, I'm down with it. By the way, I got to tell you something. These two Mormons, I was at my buddy's house the other day. 2 Mormons knocked on the door. I'm trying to get these guys on the show. I talked to them for an hour about the Mormon religion. I got to get them. I'll leave it there, but it was a fascinating. These were great kids. Talked to them for hours about the Church of Latter-day Saints, which I had no idea about, but it was fascinating. Anyway,
it's a cult.
Don't say that.
It is.
Don't say that though. I think we should have, before you label them, I think we should have.
No, I've studied it extensively. I've studied it extensively.
They won't come on if you tell me that. I want to have conversations.
I've talked to Mormons who have left the Mormon church. I worked in ministry for a long time, so I've already talked to these people. I've gotten down to the Greek and Hebrew with them to show them in the Bible and argue, and they can't argue at that level because they don't know it.
I'm getting them on.
Yeah, they believe that Joseph Smith got special golden tablets,
correct,
that he translated, and then they asked them to they translate them again. If God told you that, you can translate them again. He said, "Oh wait, I lost them," and then he
They claim that they're in heaven and they're coming back later, or something like that. They were explaining
Yeah.
this to me yesterday. I don't want to get into that though. I talked to them for an hour. I was fascinated by what they believe, but I want to get them on because I thought they were great kids.
Yeah.
They're trying to do
They
good.
also believe that black people are lesser.
Really?
Yeah. It says that in the Book of Mormon. Yeah, that the dark skin. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that it's a cult. When you really actually look at it, you're like, oh, this actually doesn't make logical sense. And the Bible's pretty logical when you read it, and their stuff is like,
they agree with that.
Out there, it's like they believe that they're going to be gods of their own planet, that they're going to get their own planet, and that there's this special star out there, Robb or something like that. It's very far. It's like, it reminds me of Kabbalah with Jewish mysticism. So
I'm getting them on.
Very interesting.
I'm getting them on. I want to get them on. I got to send a picture of these two young guys that came by. They were great kids. I got to say that. So I don't know if they're brainwashed. I don't know what's going on with them, but they were really, really good kids. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me get into this. Let's play. Let's do this.
Total cult.
Stop it. Clip number 16. I want to play this. This is Cynthia West. Now, here's what I would ask of the audience. Okay. Somebody says total cult. Cynthia West. Now, again, this person is, I got people coming at me from everywhere. I had people sending me messages last night saying she's a complete fraud, complete lunatic, attention whore, these type of things. And then I have other people saying she's a good person. I get both sides of, I get people hitting me from both ends of Cynthia West. Yep. I don't know Cynthia West. I make no judgment upon her, but I want you to see this interview and just tell me what you make of it. Now, again, you got to remember, she's in the middle of this is serious business with this Thomas Massie situation. Okay. Because you have a lot of people like me that appreciate Thomas Massie and his voting record. I appreciate that he stood in Congress. I talk about it routinely in Missouri when I give talks on the show. Thomas Massie is the one who stood in the Capitol and said, if you're going to steal our republic, you should come in and vote on it. And I did not know what he meant when he said that. I just completely bypassed it. What he meant was the CARES Act was going to buy out the states. It was going to overrun their budgets. So during COVID, when the states couldn't pay their bills, the federal government came in and said, since we've closed all of your businesses, we got an idea for you. What we'll do is we'll pay your bills for you, right? We'll give you all of this money. Idea. And then you'll do whatever just like a drug dealer would, exactly like a drug dealer. That was the CARES Act that was under Donald Trump. I didn't recognize it until maybe the last 6 or 8 months. But now that I see it, I'm like, oh, that makes perfect sense. You close down society and then you take advantage of the states because the states are supposed to have sovereignty. We take over the states by flooding them with money. Then the states can't pay their bills. Therefore, if they don't do what the federal government wants them to do with AI data centers, for example, then we'll just withhold the money and they can't pay their bills. That's what happened. And Thomas Massie was the only single person in Congress that brought that to our attention. Okay. That's one of the reasons I like Thomas Massie. That doesn't mean he's not into some kinky stuff. He is a super freak. He's super freaking. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we find out that
Thomas Massie doesn't look like a guy that's that's having.
I mean, Congress has their fund to pay off people that for cases like this. That's the thing that's been in the news.
Thomas Massie's the one that brought that to everybody's attention. Yeah. He said there's $16 million that is being used to keep people quiet. And now apparently he's involved in that situation. So I don't know. But let's check out Cynthia West. You tell me what you think of her. Here's this interview that is going viral and everybody's talking about Cynthia West, Thomas Massie. Everybody's getting involved in all the commentators, all the social media people are getting involved in it. So here is Cynthia West, clip number 16. Check it out. Tell me what you think.
Or identify any evidence or identify witnesses?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you comply with all those requirements?
I did.
And in the course of filling out those documents, did you by any chance list Thomas Massie as a potential witness?
I did, yes.
How did he react to that?
Well, out of courtesy, when I started the process, I called him up to let him know. And he was very angry. And he said, you're just one person, that you can't make a difference, that you need to just walk away. And then he had $5,000 that he said that he would give me if I could just walk away. I didn't take it though.
Did he offer you a check?
No, he has cash. So it's part of his cow money, right? It's his non-traceable money.
Cow money.
No, wait a minute. You said it's part of his cow money?
Yeah, because he's got cows. He sells cows.
Pause it right there.
It's cash. And he keeps it kind of.
Pause it. Oh, Isaiah took off.
He doesn't report it?
No.
Do you think, Isaiah, that feels staged at all to you? What's your gut feeling as you watch that?
I don't know. It feels like Erica Kirk a little bit. Like, not to be a little morbid, but that's just, I mean, I don't know. It's the performativeness of it. You know what I mean?
It feels a little forced to me.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like,
this is what we do.
That's how I feel about Erica Kirk too. It's like sometimes it's a forced, like, oh, you know, kind of like.
It's not true.
It doesn't mean it's not true. That's not what I'm saying. No, but
it feels it
feels inauthentic, I guess.
Inauthentic. It feels like we wrote down the questions. Here's how you're supposed to answer. You know, like cow money. Yeah, cow money. It just feels a little orchestrated. Okay, continue on.
All right.
So how did he react when you wouldn't take the money and walk away?
Well, he was very angry at that conversation. Yeah.
All right. Have you pursued both the ethics complaint and the claim under the Employee Act despite his efforts?
I did. Yes, I did.
Are either or both of them still pending?
Yes.
Are the things you've told me about your complaints to both the ethics committee and for the retaliatory firing contained in those documents that you filed with the government?
Yes.
Is it fair to say that when Thomas Massey handed you or offered you $5,000 in cash that you were the main witness in a federal legal proceeding seeking a remedy for what you believe was an injustice?
Yes.
Has there been any resolution of either one of those proceedings to date?
No.
Have they made any efforts to resolve this with you?
Yes. So I have an offer. It's at the House for approval, but settlement.
You have an offer of what?
Settlement for $60,000 to settle the case and for the retaliatory discharge and the Congressional Accountability Act violation with the Office of Victoria Sparks.
Now, here's what I would ask. First question I would ask. Now, if I was interviewing her and I knew she was going to come in and make these accusations against somebody who's running for House in a hotly contested race where millions and millions of dollars are being spent on both sides, wouldn't you ask to bring in the NDA? Am I crazy?
Yeah.
We'll bring in the NDA so we can hold it up and show it that you have an NDA. Why would you say that you have an NDA? And because if you haven't signed it, it doesn't mean anything. So if you have an NDA, this is what I would ask her right away is when you're booking this interview and you're going to put this out onto social media and, you know, definitely impugn the character of Thomas Massey.
Yeah.
And you say that you had a sexual relationship with him that he wants to hide, right after his marriage. Why wouldn't you just bring the NDA right out there and put it up on the screen and say, here's the NDA and here's what they're trying to get me to sign? Why would you? Can you think of any reason in your mind, Isaiah, if you're a truth seeker and you're trying to get out information in a political campaign, is there any reason that you can think of where you wouldn't bring the NDA to this particular interview?
No, I mean, unless it says something in there that you wouldn't want to make your story look bad, I guess, essentially. Maybe there's something in there because sometimes people settle cases just to get the money. Yeah, so that they can get it done and get it over with from the person who's dealing with it standpoint is, you know.
Remember Donald Trump said he would never do that, and then he gave the $30,000 through Michael Cohen to Stormy Daniels.
Exactly.
I would never settle because I would never allow somebody to extort me except for Stormy Daniels for $130 grand. But nobody pays attention to that because, you know, Donald Trump always tells the truth. Right? All you got to do is ask his supporters. It's 7D chess every single time.
5D chess. I was laughing. Alex Jones said that the other day. He goes, it's 50D chess, I guess.
People are not paying attention to Donald Trump. They need to start paying attention. All right, continue on with her. I don't understand that not bringing the NDA. That's something that would throw me for a loop. And then somebody on there says, okay, Amy says she does not have an NDA. If Thomas Massey has responded to this, Isaiah, is there any chance when we get done with this that you can check out his X feed because apparently he's responded? I'd like to see what Thomas Massey has to say. But continue on with this. Again, this is Cynthia West claiming that she was bribed or tried to be, or Thomas Massey and his people tried to get her to sign an NDA to make her go away after a sexual relationship. 60 grand. See, I take the 60 grand and run with it, but what do I know? Go ahead.
I think it's only got a few seconds left. We'll check it out.
All right.
But if I do that, then I have to sign an NDA. And so I can't do that.
All right, Dazzy. Dazzy on the screen says casting doubt is unbecoming. I'm not casting doubt. I'm just saying this is what we're trying to show you, Dazzy, is I'm making this very clear to everybody. I have no idea whether she's telling the truth or not. I have no clue, right? I'd love to interview her because I guarantee you I'll sniff it right on out. But if she wants to come in and take an interview with me, I'll have an opinion afterwards. And she should do that. You know, when you make accusations like that, you should come out, especially with the MMTLP community. I'm a part of the MMTLP community. I've taken this as high as I can possibly go. Everybody that I know within the government, whether in Missouri or in Washington, D.C., I've tried to get this information to them. I've done everything I can to help the MMTLP community, regardless of whether you like me, don't like me. I've tried to get resolution for you. If she's a part of that community, bring her on. Let's have a conversation. I have no ill will to her. If she's telling the truth, more power to her. But you'll be able to sniff it out because we'll ask her the right questions, right? Did you find by chance what Thomas Massey has to say, Isaiah? Have we gotten? Will you look on his X feed, see if you can find Thomas Massey? Because apparently he's made a comment. He's responded to this. I'd be curious to see what Thomas Massey has to say. And then,
did I see you say on X the other day we're trying to get him booked on the show?
Yeah, so I'm meeting with a guy today who's listening on the show because I think he's already commented. Who's just met with Thomas Massey. He sent me a picture of him. So I'm meeting with him. I'm meeting with him later on today. I think he has contact with his office. And we're going to try to get Thomas Massey on the show. Before this ever happened, I want to get Thomas Massey on because I think it's a huge story.
Yeah.
I might even go down to Kentucky. That's not far from us. We get down to Kentucky and check him out while he's
that'd be 4 hours, 5 hours, maybe a drive.
Easy drive.
It's actually one of the most beautiful drives.
It is so fantastic. Kentucky's beautiful.
Oh my gosh. Kentucky and Tennessee there. When you're driving through, it's really nice.
Just incredible.
Here, I'll read this for us. It says, it's sad that a week before this election, people are making false and unsubstantiated allegations about me in an obvious attempt to influence the outcome of this election. All of the claims of inappropriate conduct are false. I've never offered anyone money in exchange for their silence. I report all of my farm income, including cash, to the IRS. There are no ethics claims filed against me, nor have there ever been any claims filed against me in my 14 years in office. I have consulted legal counsel, and we are considering all options.
That almost feels like a legal statement, doesn't it?
Very. That's 100% a legal statement because it's like you said, it's impugning on his character, defamation, maybe even. I'm sure there's things that a lawyer would have.
Didn't say I have not had sexual relations with this woman, not once, never. Right?
I know. Didn't pull the Bill Clinton on him.
Not pull the Bill Clinton on us.
He did call them unsubstantiated allegations.
Well, I think that's about the money, though.
False and unsubstantiated allegations about me.
What do you make of that, Isaiah?
But he's saying people are making it, so it's kind of generalized. So
that's what I mean. It didn't seem very specific. Like I have nothing to do with this woman. I've never.
He said all of the claims of inappropriate conduct are false. He does say that.
Well, inappropriate contact. I think she's basically saying he's a sexual deviant, and he wanted her. I think if you dig down into the story, and again, I'm getting this from all over the place. It just came to me last night.
I know.
I just got it last night.
All over the feed.
Where does it come from? I was unaware of the story. What do we got here? No NDA from Jesse. Yes, he posted a thing.
Tennessee is beautiful.
We know that.
He made a statement.
So I don't know. I mean, it doesn't feel like the MMTLP people are completely convinced one way or another. What I got just from some of the people in the community that were communicating with me on DMs last night, Isaiah, is I had different perspectives. One or two people said that they knew her. I think that was on the screen here earlier, that she is a good person. They believe her story completely. She would not put herself out there like that if she was intending to lie. Then I had other people that said she made the same allegations against her husband. She's one of those people that looks for attention. She's a BS artist, and
someone just said in the chat earlier, where is it? That she's a part of a conservative women's group that goes to Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, this is what makes me.
Yeah, she's involved with the Republican women's conservative groups and goes to Mar-a-Lago.
All right, Isaiah.
And that same person says she was an original investor with Metamaterials. We were friends. She told me on the phone about relationship with Massey, but never said anything bad about him over a year ago.
So here's what I would guess at this point. Here's what I think we could, if I were judge and jury right now.
If you're a betting man, no,
if I was a betting man, I would say that Thomas Massey, after his divorce, was looking for a little action. You understand what I'm saying, Isaiah? You know, this is how men behave sometimes when they're hurt and they have new women in their life. I think they probably did have some form of relationship.
I didn't even know he got divorced.
And not divorced. I'm sorry. His wife died.
I was going to say, wow, that was terrible. He gets divorced and then his wife dies? Dang.
His wife died, and I think he probably had a relationship with this woman. Sexual, I don't know, but some form of a relationship. He breaks it off, and now you have the determination whether he broke it off because she was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs or he mistreated her. She wanted to speak out about it because he's a person of power and wealth and influence, and is now trying to spill the beans on her relationship with him because she finds him to be a deviant or a bad person.
Interesting.
Which would be hard to believe because of the long-lasting marriage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just generally speaking, when you have a long marriage like that. But did we ever find out why his wife, what happened to his wife? That was a big story.
Yeah, it was. A lot of people think that it was.
Do we have any idea how she died? Did she die of like a heart attack? Did she have some form of cancer? Was there anything that we found out about it? Because I remember when it happened, I never found out how his wife died.
Yeah. It wasn't a car accident.
Isaiah,
was it a car accident? No.
That'd be the heart attack dart. What do you think? What do you think of Massey? Are you somebody that likes Thomas Massey? Do you have any opinion on him?
Oh yeah. So it says cause of death. The initial announcement did not specify. Later reports said respiratory complications of chronic autoimmune myopathy. I don't know what that is. I should ask my wife. But
so there was a medical problem with her, and she passed away from illness, basically.
Yeah. Okay. That's what it says.
Very.
Yeah. Yes, Thomas Massey. Sorry, I was looking that up when you were asking me about Thomas Massey. I think that you and I just are really hard-lined on the Constitution, and that is what we use to.
It's the only thing that matters to me.
That's the only thing that matters and governs the nation. And
I don't get caught up in all the drama.
Yeah.
I don't like people or dislike people. There are people, I talk about it all the time. If you watch like a Josh Hawley from Missouri, Josh Hawley, if you want somebody to dazzle you with his
brilliance, oh my gosh, great communicator.
Great communicator. He's absolutely fabulous. He's an attorney, and he can wow you with his brilliance. But it doesn't mean jack diddly ding dong. It doesn't mean anything.
And he can make you feel like he's right and you're wrong, even if you're right.
Correct. And the reality of it is, if people just vote based on what their authority is through the Constitution, then we don't have all these problems. It's why I give Donald Trump trouble about the Iran war. Whether the Iran war is good for America, bad for America, to be honest with you, I don't really understand it enough to know, and I don't think you do either. But he has no constitutional authority to do it. That's a fact.
That's the fact, Jack. That's a fact, Jack.
And you cannot start wars unconstitutionally indefinitely and not have a society that eventually crumbles because you run out of money. And wars cost money, cost me and you money. That's why your inflation continues. That's why your grocery prices go up and your energy prices go up, right? That's the problem. So if anybody knows how to get us in touch with, and Isaiah, how do they find you? Because if it's
X is the easiest, I would say. X at Isaiah Asher, ISAIAHASCHER. My DMs are open, and I typically try to check them because people reach out to me a lot on X.
I would love to have a conversation with Cynthia West. I really would, and I promise you, it'll be fair. I have no idea what's going on with Cynthia West. I just would love to have a conversation to see where she's coming from, because this is big news. This will be huge news over the course of the next 30 days. If you haven't heard the story yet, you're going to hear about it. It's going to be big news because Donald Trump does not like Thomas Massey at all. And Donald Trump, as you know, plays for keeps. He's not a wallflower when it comes to a fight. He likes to jump in and get after it. He is trying to unseat Thomas Massey, and he's going to fill that seat with Elmer Fudd, also known as Ed Gallerin. If you have not seen Ed Gallerin speak, Elmer Fudd is the best.
Gomer Pyle, Elmer Fudd.
Yeah. One of those
here's my X profile, everyone. If you wanted to reach out to me, at Isaiah Asher right there, just send me a DM. Also for the MMTLP community, you'll see my new title. courtesy of Busy Brands. Thank you, sir. Appreciate the new title.
Yeah, he was not happy with you. All right, let's play this real fast because we got about 6 more minutes before. Did he confirmed with us, right?
Yeah, we booked Flat Earth Dave through his booking.
I just haven't seen him on the screen yet, so I always get nervous when guests don't show up on time. But he's not late. I'm just saying. Let's play this. It's clip number 11. Now, this woman has been on InfoWars many, many times. She talks about a lot of things in the financial markets. Her name is Tiffany Siachi, I think is the way it's pronounced. Now, she's a Thomas Massey supporter, and she went out onto social media. This began to hit my feed last night. So this is Tiffany Siachi and what she thinks is going on with Thomas Massey and Cynthia West. Check it out. Clip number 11.
11. Perfect. I was like, which clip number?
There she is.
Is everything wrong with American politics today? This is what happens when a politician serves the interests of his voters, constituents,
9.8 million? Are you serious?
Instead of the interests of billionaires and their pedophile friends. But I have a plan to stop it, and it's going to take every single one of us, and we're going to start right now because Thomas Massey needs our help, and he needs it today. Story time. 8 days ago, I was sitting at a lunch table in Washington, D.C., across from Congressman Thomas Massey, when he pulled out his phone, showed me a tweet, and asked me, "Miss Cianci, did you mean it when you sent this?" The tweet in question: "I will fly to Kentucky and bring every follower I have across every platform to fight for Rep. Thomas Massey. POTUS has grossly misjudged how done the citizenry is with bought and paid for politics." And the answer I gave him: "Absolutely, Congressman, what do you need?" He said, "That is exactly what I need. Can you help me?" Now, if you're not familiar with what's going on in the 4th District of Northern Kentucky, right now, Representative Thomas Massey, an incumbent that boasts the highest approval rating of any member of Congress, according to voters across the United States, is currently fending off a challenge from a primary candidate named Ed Galrain, a guy nobody's ever heard of before, but Trump said that was fine because he just needed a warm body and Kentucky voters would vote the way he told them to. Now, all of that would probably seem fine if it was just a regular primary, but it's not. What's actually happening right now is that in retribution for Thomas Massey fighting so hard to release the Epstein files and back the victims of Epstein's crimes, these 3 billionaires right here that have zero ties to Kentucky have spent nearly $13 million in one of the smallest districts in the U.S. that currently has a primary to try to unseat Thomas Massey for refusing to protect their pedophile friends.
Now, that gives you the idea of what's
Thomas.
Right? So what I was trying to get at there is the money being poured into this race. And, we're getting into dirty politics time, right? You get into dirty politics, you make accusations right before an election, you let them fester out there. People will believe what they want to believe because you're going to have people come out and endorse a story. You're going to have people that reject the story, but you create these divisions. This is dirty politics, and this can happen. I'm not saying that Cynthia West is involved with that. I'm just simply saying this is how the game is played, and it is very, very dirty at times. That's why I get nervous to get into politics because I have some skeletons in my closet, Isaiah. I think everybody does, right? You and I were talking about it at lunch. Where I had a good time when I was young. If there were cell phones when I was 20,
oh yeah, me too.
To 27 years old.
Oh yeah, some of the videos my buddies send me.
I can't even imagine
from my bachelor party.
Absolutely, I was having a good old time, baby. Trust me when I tell you. And my buddy Gary Sullivan, he put on there. He said, "Rob needs just for men." I think my hair looks a little darker than it normally does.
Just for men, come on! Wow, they're really trying to get under your skin today, huh?
He was voted. I always tell him so. When I went to Pattonville High School here in town. So, and him and I are, he's one of my closest friends in the world. And when we were in high school, he got voted best looking. And I said, when he won best looking, I said, that was my first indication that elections were rigged.
First indication.
When we were hanging out when we were kids, I said, that's when I knew elections were rigged, when you won best looking in our high school.
Yeah. I know we probably want to bring on Flat Earth Dave here, but I think we got to get Scott on here to tell your elbow story sometime so that everyone can have a good laugh. That'd be fantastic.
You like that?
I loved it.
I ran out of gas and I fell down on my bike and broke my elbow with my buddy that plays for the Cardinals. And he said he wanted me to go work out with him the next day. He goes, "You're fine." I said, "Dude, I can't even move. My elbow's sore as can be." He takes out this Tiger Balm gel because we all got a minute. We'll just kind of do some have a little fun with it. He takes out this Now I got a broken elbow, right? So my left elbow is broken. So he takes this Tiger Bomb. He goes, I got hit in the elbow by a 95-mile-an-hour fastball from Jimmy Key when I was in the major leagues. He goes, and I just rubbed this Tiger Bomb on it. And it was fine the next day. Well, he's like Superman, by the way. You've seen the guy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
He's 58 years old. He's got the body of a 19-year-old
MLB player, you know.
So he takes this Tiger Bomb and he grabs me, you know, the big mitts of his, and he grabs me and he drags me to him and he takes his Tiger Bomb, and I'm trying to run away like a little child. And he grabs my elbow and starts digging his fingers into my elbow with his Tiger Bomb. I mean, I almost started crying, like sobbing because it hurt so bad. And then he never felt bad for doing that.
No, he still does not feel bad at all. He does not feel bad at all. He was roasting Rob when I was over there the other day at his house with him.
I said, you tried to kill me with the Tiger Bomb, and even to this day, you don't realize how bad that hurt, and he doesn't seem to care very much. Let's bring in Flat Earth Dave and get this baby rolling, because I am dying to talk to Flat Earth Dave. You can check out his podcast, Flat Earth Dave, at Flat Earth Dave. There he is. What's going on, Flat Earth Dave? I got a lot of questions for you, man. You made quite a name for yourself. I'm checking you out. You got a lot of people interested. I had people reaching out to me, by the way, before I'd ever heard of your name, just people in my life going, hey, you got to get this Flat Earth Dave guy on your show. And they believe that Earth is flat just like you do. So
well, I don't believe the Earth is flat. I know it's flat. You believe the Earth is a globe, and I'm going to show you how silly that belief is.
Flat Earth Dave, I have no understanding whatsoever. I've said this to everybody. I am in the camp now where if you can convince me of something, I'm willing to say that all the things that my preconceived notions about the world and life and everything else, I'll have a conversation with anyone.
Let me tell you something. That is a very intelligent statement. I don't know is one of the smartest things somebody can say, or the most honest thing. And we'll admit we don't know a lot of things, but globe believers believe they know everything. People are like, oh, the Earth is definitely a globe. I'm like, oh, really? What's the radius? What's the circumference? How fast is it spinning? How far is it from the sun? How did they figure that out? How big is the sun? They don't know any of that. I'm like, how are you arguing for the flat Earth when you don't even know your own model? You know how you become a flat earther? You learn the globe model. Forget the flat Earth model. Learn the globe model, what they actually claim, and you'll be a flat earther, because it's the dumbest thing in the world. You're not stupid. It's stupid. All right?
Well, you got to tell me.
I love it.
Here. This is going to be fun. I'm dying to pick.
But by the way, let me interrupt. This is going to be a fun conversation. It needs to go longer than you have time for, and we could do a round 2 if you ever want. And I don't expect people to walk away believing the Earth is flat. I expect people to go, wait a minute, what do I really know? And then take the time and look. Belief, as Crow 777 Radio says, belief is the enemy of knowing. And I've taken it one step farther. Belief is the lazy man's knowing. For example, I live in Connecticut. Where do I live? I swear.
You live in Connecticut.
Do you know it, or do you believe it?
No, we believe it because
you
told us it.
It's easy.
Exactly.
Now, if you wanted to know it, you're going to have to take time out of your day. You're going to have to search me up. You're going to have to check the metadata on pictures, all sorts of stuff. And then you could know, or pretty much know. But belief is easy, and we have to go through life believing things. Otherwise, we'll never get anything done. And so our God-given discernment, we have to weigh that out. And what they've done is they've made it so by the time you get out of school, high school especially, you are one of the dumbest people on the planet. It's unbelievable. It's unreal.
What's your background? And how do you come to this? Are you somebody that's into sciences? Or are you just somebody who came across this, started doing your own study and your own homework, and said, the Earth is flat? How did you think about this?
Before I tell that story, I'll keep it short. How much time do we have?
You have as much time as you want, man. We are open. That's one of the beauty. I left radio because I got sick and tired of commercials interrupting my conversation.
Thank God. So a bunch of things happened in my life, throughout my life. My earliest school memory, which made no sense to me. I didn't realize the significance. It was in kindergarten or first grade. Teacher brings us outside to teach us about gravity with a bucket of water on a rope, and he swings it around. He goes, "That's gravity." And I'm like, as the little kid, I go, he had a globe out there too. I go, "Isn't the water on the outside? Don't you have to turn the bucket the other way?" And the teacher goes like this, and he shows me in the book. He goes, "This is how they told me to teach it, so that's how I'm going to teach it." And that was a foundational, like, wow, people just believe stuff. And and it wasn't until 45, 50 years later that I discovered that everything's a lie. And when I say everything, I mean everything. Yeah. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane. And then in college, I was in the business. Everything in my life was to make money. Everything, and that's a lot of people can admit that. Yeah. And I went into corporate America and I took what's funny is I took 4 years of astronomy because I loved it. I love space, I love aliens, I love planets, I love it all. And I used to laugh at people that looked at astrology. I'm like, oh, come on, Mars retrograde. How's that going to affect you? It can't even affect our tides, right? This is stuff that's all programmed into us because we have a false idea of what space is. And I found out later in life that astrology is the real science and astronomy is pure pseudoscience. It's unbelievable how wrong it is. It's incredible. So there's my story.
I love it. All right. So first question I have to ask is if the sun, because we believe the sun is going,
we're going around the sun.
Yeah, we're going around the sun, but it sets and it comes up on the other side. How do you explain that? That was the first question when I said you were coming on the show. People go, well, how does the sun go around the earth then?
Right. The first thing is this is not flat earth. This is, if you Google flat earth, that's the picture that'll come up. And we know that Google is not out to give us truthful information. That is not the case. Not the case at all. Right. So this is what you believe, right? Here it is. We're taught that all the planets go around the sun. That we're heliocentric. Helios is the sun. We're going around, but they forget to tell you that the sun's moving at 500,000 miles an hour. So all of these planets stay equal with the sun, right? And they all go around and they're running forward. It's absolute insanity. And this is how we get sunsets, because while we're doing that, we're spinning. Each time around for us is a year. We're spinning 365 times as we're going around. We're vortexing through space in 4 different directions at once, but we don't feel it. You ever been in an earthquake?
Right.
You ever been in an earthquake?
Small ones, nothing big.
Yeah. How did you know there was an earthquake?
Felt the ground shake under my feet.
You felt the ground move. We're moving. We're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour at the equator. We're orbiting at 66,600 miles an hour. Funny number. We're chasing the sun at 500,000 miles per hour, and that system is moving sideways at millions of miles per hour. And nothing ever changes. The stars are the same every year. Nothing changes. We don't feel anything. Well, when you're in an airplane, you don't feel it. Well, no matter what thing you're in, it's enclosed and it's going in a straight line, and you could argue that you don't feel the motion. You do, but if it changes its direction, that's acceleration. Even at a same speed, if a car's going 60 miles an hour and takes a turn, you lean over because that's acceleration. The earth is curving in all 4 of its directions and we don't feel anything. It's crazy.
What about the pictures from my dad? I told him you were coming on. Yeah. My dad goes, what about the pictures from space where you can kind of see the earth from space? What's that all about? Is everybody lying about that? That was his question.
We're going to get back to the sun, but we'll start with the earth. You
can finish the sun.
No. It's okay. Listen, we're going to go all
I got a million questions, so I don't want to pepper you too fast.
And by the way, every question that we talk about, you're going to have 2 more to add to that million. So when I answer one, it'll be 1,000,002. So pictures from space, right? This is a 2012 picture. Got America here, Mexico, right? See it, Florida. Yep. And this is 2013. The balls are the same size. What happened to America? I thought we were getting fatter. Sure. It's smaller, right? These are cartoons. These are provably cartoons. But here's the problem. When you start saying that NASA's lying, the astronauts are lying, or some of them actually believe they went to space due to mind control, that's a big ball. That's a big bite. That's a big chop out of your belief system. Like people that are older than us, they have a really hard time. We grew up with the moon landing, right? The moon landing is amazing. I mean, do you believe we went to the moon? Have you ever looked into it?
I have a hard time believing we went to the moon.
All right, that's good. If you looked into it, you would.
Crazy, but if you look into it, it seems ridiculous.
It's a Hollywood production.
It 100%. And the thing is, anyone that believes in the moon landing, it just hasn't looked into it, and that's okay if you haven't looked into it. Here's the United States. We'll put it on this map to size. So you have to believe that all of this is on the other side of this ball.
It's interesting you say that, because when I fly, right, because I've flown to China and back, it never goes around. It just goes back and forth. If you look at the flight patterns, and because when you fly a lot, which I do or did, because I was in the corporate world as well, and I flew all over the place. when you look at the flights, they don't go like around the globe. They just go back and forth, from one side to the next. I'm like, well, why wouldn't they just go around? Why wouldn't it be shorter just to go around the earth in the other direction?
Airplanes go in a straight line. Airplane flies straight and level over the earth plane. If you look, you go to flight tracking data, you go down to the bottom of these sites, and it says show the data, whatever. It shows a straight level line. It shows a straight line between all 2 points. This is our map, laid out flat, a Mercator map, but the dark areas are the actual sizes, and they all match the best flat Earth map that we have, which would be the Gleason's AE map. Again, we don't claim to have a perfect map, and there's a thing it's called falsification is independent of replacement. Somebody stole my cookie about an hour ago, the last cookie. I'm pissed, and I think it was you. And until you can tell me who stole it, I'm still going to blame you. That's ridiculous, right? Right? You're not even here. You're not here. I'm in Connecticut, allegedly. Yep. So this is these things match. So let me just get a little farther. And we're going to jump into where is the
floor is yours. I want to see how many people you can change the opinion of, because when people are conditioned, they just will not move. And I want to see if you can move some people.
I don't want anybody to believe anything I say. I'm just going to point to some doors, and then it's up to you to take the time to look into it. And I'm going to tell you where you can go look for this stuff, right? And I'll tell you right now, on my website, by the way, my website's being redone. It's going to be amazing. But on my website, scroll down, it says Crash Course. And those are a bunch of videos that YouTube is hiding from you. Google's hiding them from you. If you watch the first 5, you're done. Globe's dead. But that's if you watch it. If you don't watch it, well, that's some reason you're not watching it, and you don't want to look because you think it's too stupid. I offer 3 Bitcoins for 1 globe proof. Scroll down farther. Those are all the people that are using my app right now. Scroll down a little farther, and then it says Crash Course right there. Boom. If you click that, it just brings you to a playlist of videos. And if you watch the first 5 videos, you're finished. It's over. It's done.
You want to play one, Isaiah?
No. They're longer videos.
Long?
They're long. I was watching them last night. They're great.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I only made some of them. They're made by, this is a group effort. Everyone does their specialty. We got movie producers out there making great ones. But you talked about airplanes. Let's just jump to that for a second. Where is it? There we go. So this is a flight from New Zealand. Whoops, sorry. Let me just clear that. All right, New Zealand to Argentina. This is the bottom of the ball. You got Antarctica. You got the tip of South. You got New Zealand right over here. Australia's around the corner. You got your bearings. Here's the tip of South America, right? Argentina. FlightAware says this is the shortest route. Now, there's a thing called the Antarctic Treaty, where all of the countries that are at war somehow agree that there's no independent exploration over Antarctica. No flights can fly over Antarctica. Okay, but this doesn't go over Antarctica, and this is the path. You want to see the real flight path? The real flight path is will turn you into a flat earther. It goes from New Zealand up over the equator, all the way to San Francisco, then across to Texas, and then all the way back down. And the indoctrinated will go, well, that's the Great Circle route, or they have to pick up passengers. That's a pretty far way to go. Why didn't they just go zip, which is shorter than this leg? Right on the globe. But if we look at it on a flat earth map, New Zealand, San Francisco, Houston, Texas, Argentina. What did your mom teach you?
Shortest between 2 points is a straight line.
Yeah. And there's tons of flights like this that no, they're always like, why are we going all the way up here on the ball when it's just boom? It's a straight line, fairly straight line. Doesn't always go perfectly straight.
And how long, Dave, was it considered? For centuries, people thought the Earth was flat.
So that's another story, right? We're told for 2,000 years, Eratosthenes figured out the Earth was flat with his sticks and shadows, right? He had a stick, and his buddy walked 500 miles away. His buddy, you know how he knew he was 500 miles away? He walked and he counted the steps. And then somehow when he was 500 miles away, they had a perfectly clear sunny day, and they knew to synchronize their measurements of their sticks and their shadows at the same time and figured out the radius of the Earth, right? That's stupid. It's dumb. But the thing is, that actually doesn't prove the Earth is a globe, even if he did it. But here's the funny thing. 2,000 years ago, this mathematician named Eratosthenes, who may have existed, did this experiment and figured out the radius of the Earth. I think Carl Sagan said it was within 2% of what we know today. That's amazing, right? But I'm going to show you how his math doesn't prove anything. But it was never published until the 1900s when the Rockefellers took over the education system. It was never published. No one ever wrote the story of Eratosthenes doing his sticks and shadows. The World Cup was in Doha last year, the year before, and Argentina, Buenos Aires, Argentina team won. They wanted to go back to Argentina or Buenos Aires, whatever. And they went to Rome to get gas. Maybe they wanted to see the Pope. I don't know. And they had a private plane. They want to go home. They don't have to pick up passengers. They went to Rome. Well, Doha, Rome, open ocean, Buenos Aires, straight line. There's tons of emergency landings. Yeah, emergency landings. People were there's an emergency. Someone's having a baby. Somebody is having a heart attack, and you got to land a flight right away. Someone has a stomach ache. They land the flight, right? And there's a great book called 16 Emergency Landings That Prove Flat Earth. You can find a free PDF online, or you can buy it. It documents 16 flights that absolutely 100% prove that the Earth is not a globe. I'm just trying to find one. This is a good one. So this is a flight from Hong Kong. It was going all the way to the UK, which is 12 hours, and it stopped 8 hour. Well, was it 12 hours or 8 hours? Whatever. It was a long flight. Maybe it was 8 hours.
12 hours because I've flown it.
Okay, 12 hours. And 4 hours into the flight, the mother traveling with her husband and small children died. Full plane, nothing they can do. She's dead in her seat. And those kids had to sit next to the mother for 4 hours, 8 hours, dead, right? They didn't land. There's countless airports here. But why didn't they land? Well, two reasons. One, people like me would go, well, the reason you didn't land is because you're over Russia, right? And planes fly over Russia all the time. People are like, oh, you don't fly over Russia? Bull crap. But they couldn't land there because then people like me would go, look, they were over Russia. Earth is flat. And also at that time, if they did land in Russia, they probably would have gotten really great assistance, and the Russians would have taken good care of them, and that could spark world peace, and we can't have that.
Exactly.
All right. So emergency landings absolutely prove flat Earth. Let's go over to Eratosthenes because we bring that up, and it's one point at a time. This is good, and we'll get to the sun setting because that is my favorite, but it is one that takes a little bit of brain power.
Okay. I rely on Isaiah for brain power.
Yeah, it's all right. Here's the thing: people are like, I'm not a scientist. Well, that's a fallacy. You were given God-given common sense, and we break that common sense in children by telling them ridiculous things like, one, Santa Claus brings presents, and you know who tells them that? The people he trusts the most in the world, his mother and his father. And the mother, for half of the year or more, uses that as a threat to get them to put on their damn pajamas or eat their food or get in the bathtub, right? So for years, and then when the kid's 9 years old, give or take, he finds out Santa Claus is fake. What does that do? It breaks the kid's mind. It's the worst thing you can do because now you can't even trust your parents. Then the kid goes to the beach with you, the little kid, and he sees that you're at the beach all day, and he sees the sun go across the sky, and wow, it's amazing. And then he goes to school and goes, oh, no, the sun's not going across the sky. You're on a ball and you're falling over backwards faster than the speed of sound. And the sun looks like it's moving, but you're actually falling over backwards, right? Uh-huh. So you break the kid's ability to use their God-given common sense. They start disregard my common sense is telling me I'm wrong. I guess I'm just going to listen to authority. And this is incredible what's going on. All ancient cultures, all of them, believed in a flat enclosed cosmology until the religion of NASA came and started pushing this ball nonsense. They were teaching flat Earth. I interviewed a woman about the World's Fairs. Have you ever looked into the World's Fairs?
Sure. Yeah.
So she was at the 1920s, whatever, World Fair in New York, and she was telling me about the lights and everything. And I wasn't talking to her about flat Earth. And I said to her, what did they teach you in school about the Earth? And she goes, they taught me the Earth was flat. This was in public school in Connecticut, in Hamden, Connecticut. And they were teaching flat Earth in the late 1920s, 1930s. And then they were even teaching it. They were teaching, ball or flat, we don't know, in the 1950s. Right. And then they switched it. Yeah. There's lots of people. And it takes time to switch. And here's the thing. Some schools in some states could be teaching one thing while others are not. You know why? There's no one's talking to each other. There's only newspapers, right? There's not the internet. The people aren't making phone calls like we make phone calls 800 times a day. They make a phone call. I mean, when was the phone invented? Allegedly.
When was the phone invented? Isaiah, do you know? I
late
don't remember.
1800s. Alexander Graham Bell.
Yeah, but phones weren't commonly used until mid 1900s. You don't just make random phone calls all the time. So I'm just trying to find where is it? So the Eratosthenes experiment was he looked down a well on a certain day of the year and you can see the sun reflecting in the bottom of the well at a certain time. That would tell you that the sun is directly above the well. Great observation. Great analysis. I would call that a good experiment. And so he theorized, hey, if the Earth is a globe, allegedly he thought it was a globe. That's what we're told. That if somebody went farther over that globe and put a stick straight up and down, we could measure the shadow. We could do some algebra and the calculus and figure out exactly the sphericity. I said that word, sphericity of the Earth, right? So you have to assume that sun rays come in parallel. No one's ever seen parallel sun rays. They all splay out and they come in corpuscular. So if we're on a ball, the sun rays are coming in. Eratosthenes here. He can have his sticker as well. The story keeps changing. There's no shadow. And then his buddy over here, his stick is straight up for him, and there's a shadow. And then you can do some calculations and figure out accurately the sphericity of this ball. Makes sense. But on a flat Earth with a small local sun, here's Eratosthenes, no shadow. And here's a shadow right there. Right? You can do this on your own desk. Get 2 bottles, lighters, pens, whatever. Stick them upright. Hold a light directly over one of them. There's no shadow. And then the other one will have a shadow.
Right.
And then we could use the same math Eratosthenes did and figure out the sphericity of that table. Crazy, right?
You got to tell me about the sun though, because I'll start peppering you with questions, and I want to make sure you have time to answer them so that people can really understand what you're talking about, because it does get complicated. I watched a few of your shows and I watched some of the questions that come in.
Yeah,
you gotta want to understand what's going on. You can't just say I know it because I've taught it. I'm with you. We taught so many things that I now know are lies that I'm willing to believe anything, or at least study and try to get to the bottom of anything. Tell me how this, because we always see the sun rising and setting. How do you see this happening different than what we're taught in school?
So let me just see if I have. Okay, we're going to do this. This is going to be a 5-minute explanation. You okay with that?
Yeah, take your time. We're in no hurry at all. I'm fascinated by it.
So if you're sitting in your yard and you have a 5-foot-high fence off to the side a little bit, and your neighbor on the other side of the fence comes up to the fence and starts talking to you. So he's talking to you over the fence like this. Hey, what's going on? And then he walks away. When he walks away, from your point of view, because you're below the level of the fence, his head's going to disappear from the bottom up.
Correct.
Right? Yeah. So you fully understand that. So here's the fence. Here's your neighbor and the fence is above your eye. Oops. The fence is above your eye level. So as he goes away, he sets like the sun. Right.
Yep.
All right. But people say, well, I look over the water. The sun isn't above. I mean, the horizon's not above my eye level. In reality, it actually is. And it's not the ocean that you're seeing. So you're like, this is proof right here. So I'm going to just go over this. So here we go. So these streetlights are all the same height, but they look like they're going down due to perspective. Very simple. The tree line is the same, correct? Yep. Now imagine if this tree line right over here cut across the road, it's going to block all the lights that are beyond it. They're not below it. They're just beyond it. And the tree line is blocking your view of the lights in the distance.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's perspective. And as the sun moves across the sky over the flat Earth, it does the same thing. Here's the sun. And when we look up, we're looking through the least amount of air. When we look across, we're looking through all air, and it becomes quite opaque. So this becomes thicker and thicker and thicker because we're looking through all of that atmosphere, and all of that atmosphere compresses visually into what we call our horizontal eye zone, or for short, horizon. Not curve eye zone, horizon. Whoops, there we go. So these people are looking up. This building is above their eyes, very, very clear. And as the sun moves following the same path that the streetlights did, it's not going below the building. It's just going beyond them. These people, if they got up higher, they can look over the building, or if they went away, they can see the building, right? They can see the sun again. So here it is. They move them, let's say, a half a mile away. The tops of the buildings, maybe even just like a tenth of a mile away, the buildings look like they're at their eye level. And then the sun will just come in. It's going away, it's going away due to perspective, and it goes beyond the building. And if we made it even farther away, if I started with this picture, you would just think that that was Earth curve right here. And I'm just showing that the sun is following the same path as the streetlights. It's just perspective, and it goes beyond. Now, look, you're like, well, this little thing here, how is that hiding this big sun? It's just going beyond it, and your vision tells you that that's at your eye level, but that's a lie. The horizon is usually thousands and thousands of feet above your eye level. Let me explain. So here. So I have the sun hidden behind this big ball, and it's hidden, no problem. Now, can this sun hide behind this green thing? Well, the top can't. Could it hide behind this purple? No way, right? It can't. It won't go behind it. But if we look at things through perspective, nobody sees orthographically like this. We see differently. And the question that many of you are going to have in this, wait to the end, because I do address it. Why doesn't the sun shrink if it's just going away? And I'm going to answer that. These clouds here are the same height as these clouds over here, right? These clouds here are 20,000 feet, let's just say for a number. These clouds right here are also 20,000 feet. And these clouds here are also 20,000 feet, right? This is how we see. So if I went a little farther, you wouldn't even be able to tell. You got the horizon here, you would say, and then you got the clouds up here, right? But if I zoom in on this, watch this. If I zoom in, I'm showing you that all those clouds are up there. I'm noticing there's a mountain here. This mountain is way over my eye line, but I couldn't even tell that from the distance. And if I doubled that distance, it would just be a flat line, and you'd swear it's the ocean surface. So that's our physical deck, a horizon. And then the atmosphere, even without the clouds, becomes opaque over distance. The atmosphere becomes opaque over distance. Just like in an Olympic-sized swimming pool, you could put a picture on the wall on one end of the pool under the water and go to the other end, and you can't see the picture because the light attenuates into the medium. Well, air is just like water, just so you can see farther, right? You can get a pane of glass and look through it. You can't even see the glass. 10 panes, you could still see through it. 100 panes, you can't even shine a light through it. So the light attenuates into the atmos. So we're getting there. Hang in there.
I'm with you.
All right. Hey, a lot of people just short circuit. They're like, my brain can't think like this. And here's the problem. You didn't learn this in school. You didn't learn anything in school. You learned how to memorize and regurgitate, because if you do that, you get an A, your parents buy you ice cream, you graduate, and then you get a degree. A degree means that you are awesome at memorizing, regurgitating, and not questioning what you're told.
Dave, I have the same conversation with people in my family. I have some very well-educated people in my family, and I said, there's two types of people in the world. There are people that can read and regurgitate the book, and there are people that do their own investigation and they write the book. I said, I'm the guy that likes to write the book. I want to figure it out for myself so I can write the book. I don't take everything that I read at face value. I never did. It caused me a lot of problems now. I just don't believe a lot of things that we're taught. And people, when you challenge their perspective, they think you're insane. I don't know whether the earth is flat or round because I've never been in space. I don't even know what it looks like. I said, so I have to take my teachings, and the teachings that I know have a lot. I've learned that a lot of those are lies. So why would I not question and challenge my belief system?
Do you know that I'm 30 feet tall?
Right.
Well, you don't know that I'm not,
right?
Do you?
Exactly.
Well, you don't, but you could verify that I'm not some way. Like fly out here and knock on my door. Surprise!
That's
you're
what
not
I
30 feet tall. You're 6 feet tall.
Right.
Right. So then you falsified it. We can falsify everything that they give us about the globe. It's all falsified. Well, if the sun's not a ball in the sky, or the eclipse isn't happening, we can get into eclipses too, because the Earth's shadow, then what is it? I don't know.
Where does it go? Where does it go when it sets in the west?
We're going there. We're going there. We're going there.
You can answer this question. I'm going to be freaked out.
I'm going to freak you out, buddy.
All right.
Get ready. All right. So here's the sun that's going away and it's disappearing from the bottom up as it passes these clouds. It's disappearing from the bottom up. Watch it as it passes this cloud right here. It disappears from the bottom up, and it keeps doing that into the distance. Even without the clouds, it'll at some point it'll do it again, and then the sun just takes its light away and it goes to dark. If it was a ball and we're spinning over backwards and the sun is going below the horizon, there would be a shadow from behind us that sweeps forward across the sky. Never happens. The sun just goes and takes its light away. So here is a real sunset. Now, this appears to be at your eye level, but it's probably 20,000 feet above your eye level, right? The sun is just going away here into this distance. It's going beyond this atmospheric deck of opacity. This is a coin on a table. The table is slightly higher than the camera, and it disappears from the bottom up as it goes away. Right? So there is now, but it is getting smaller. We're going to address that, everybody. I know people freak out. Now, is this a level line or is it diagonal?
Diagonal.
Okay. And this right here, does this go below it? Watch carefully. Does it go below it? I'm following the line. Looks like it's going below it, right? Okay. See this line? It's hard to see here, but this line is level across the table. That cardboard with the bottles is right here. And I'm looking at it from a celestial point of view. So this is an elevated point of view, and I can see that it never goes below it. This is a terrestrial point of view, and this is the same line. It's level. In the video, the full video, I show that it's a level line. This is perspective. So let's just go back here and notice one thing. This is the sun actually setting. What's it doing? It's doing the same exact thing this is doing. It's going away beyond something that appears to be at our eye level. Watch this one and the real sunset, right? The sun followed its line down. What is that, the Earth curve? What is that? When you zoom out, all of this space between the sun and the water merges into a line that you can't differentiate. All right. So now here's another thing. The atmosphere, there's so many reasons the sun sets, and they all combine and they change and they mix, and it's not just one reason. And that's what you have to understand. On a super clear, dry day with no humidity. So this was done in the winter. I'm looking west, not over the water, super clear. The sun was up here and it's going down, 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 right? Because we're spinning. Now, if we're spinning, it's got to keep going, but it didn't. It went down, 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 and it stopped right here. Now, my friends were at the beach over here. They saw the sunset from the bottom up 10 minutes ago. I'm still watching it. This is my drone. I got it up really high. And it's a super clear day. Now, it's a little fuzzy because I'm zoomed way in because the sun literally turned into a little tiny dot. And it's not going down. That's the important part. But watch what happens. It's not going down. It's going away. More and more air between us, like water in a pool. And then it just faded out. It just faded out. So the sun is still there. It just faded out. And I filmed this 7 times. I live streamed it because I was accused. You faked that. You photoshopped it. And since then, a whole bunch of people have done it. Right? Well, I've watched sunsets my entire life, and I've never seen that. Have you ever gone out on a day where it's below freezing and you got to warm your batteries up in your drone and filmed it while your fingers are freezing? And, no, you haven't done that. Well, that's why you haven't seen this. Right? So our technology and our consumer optics have outgrown their lies. I'm just going back and forth here, just showing you. The more important thing, I don't think it's more important, but the more damning thing is that it's not going down. And if you watch the whole video, now here's the question about getting smaller. As things go away, they get smaller, right?
Yep.
So when you're outside, let's say you're in a flat area, you're in, you can see all different directions all over the place, and you're crossing the street. You have your field of vision. We'll just call that 100%. Okay. And let's say you can see, 25 miles in all directions, right? The first 5,000 feet or less, 2,000 feet, 1,000 feet fills up 95+% of your field of view. The rest gets compressed into the background. It's for survival. We need to see what's going on around us. When you cross the road, you need to know the cars that are close to you. The ones in the distance don't matter.
Right.
And so take a picture across the water or whatever. And I have a picture, and it shows an island, which is about 3/4 of a mile away, maybe. And then it shows New York City, which is 25 miles away. Well, that island, from my feet to that island, is 97% of the picture. And then the rest, 3% is the next 24 miles. So this is how our eyes work. So this is a terrestrial view. These balls, are they the same size? Or are they this one bigger?
Well, we think the one closest is bigger.
Right.
Doesn't mean that it is, but.
Well, it's not. It's the same. And as I move it away, it shrinks. And that's why people, well, the sun would shrink too. If the earth is flat, the sun would shrink. Right? So I'm going to show you why it doesn't. It's called diminution of size. I'm going to lift the camera up and not get any closer to this ball. So I'm just going up. So this ball is already far away, right? When you watch an airplane, let's say you're standing right next to a 747, it's gigantic. And as it goes down the runway, it gets small really fast. And it goes up in the air, it's tiny. Now you're out in open field and you see a plane far, far in the distance. And then it comes and crosses you. That entire trip, it doesn't get much bigger or smaller. It stays pretty much the same size the whole way. You know why? Because it's already farther away. Now I'm going to slide this ball over to the other one. It's not getting much smaller. It is getting a little smaller due to perspective, but it already got small. It's just like your vision. It's the first part that matters, and then everything else just kind of doesn't have a big change. So that's the sun going away and not getting smaller. And then there's other factors. When you're looking at the sun going away, the farther away it gets, the more air is in between you, the more humidity in the air, the more magnification. So as it's shrinking due to perspective, it's also being magnified. Isn't that a beautiful yin-yang creation thing?
Uh-huh.
So it's not changing size as it's going away. That's why it doesn't shrink. It's simple. Absolutely simple. Let's look at a couple examples. Somebody filmed, I haven't seen this one yet. This is from a cruise ship, and they're just looking. Now look at the sun walking on the water, right? Well, if it was curved, the water was curved, you wouldn't have that. So the sun's kind of just going away. New eyes to see, and it's setting above the horizon. Watch. I think this is the one sets above the horizon, right? That atmosphere, yeah, and you just can't tell. It's going away, banking off to the right as it's making its circle around the earth. Let's look at another one. Where is it? Question?
I'm still trying to figure out where the sun goes when it comes back up in the east.
So yeah, I'm going to show you that in a second. So this airplane is on a flat runway, and we're going to look at the engine. We can't see the engine. It looks like it's below the runway. This is just due to how our eyes work. So here's the engine, and it has to do with the way our eyes work and the way things go beyond the atmosphere. It's a hot runway, and so you have more distortion. There's all sorts of things that are happening that hide the sun. Here's the sun, same thing. It's just coming towards us, and coming from beyond. This line here is thousands of feet above your eye level, and you can see the mirroring that's going on right here. So it's mirroring, and now it's just coming forward into our field of view. So I'll go back to my app for a second. By the way, Google hides all this from you. I created an app. It's called the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. Don't try to remember that name because you can find it right at flatearthdave.com. And it shows you how everything works. The north is the center. So turn on the compass. So the north is the center, right? Imagine the center of the flat Earth map is a big magnet.
Okay.
Which way would south be? Would it be this way?
If that was north?
Oh, wait, yeah. If this was north in the middle, this would be south, right?
Uh-huh.
How about this? Would this also be south?
Everything
They'd all be south. Everything 180 degrees away from north is south, right? West, I'm here. My finger is a compass. The needle is pointing towards the north. If I wanted to go west 270 degrees, I got to keep banking to the right. So my needle points towards the north. West is a circle around flat Earth. East is a circle around flat Earth. You with me?
Yeah.
That doesn't prove the Earth is flat because it's the same on a globe. There is a problem, though, that does disprove the globe, but we'll get into that. So the sun just goes around wherever the sun is here. I want to ask a question. I don't know where you are. You're in the United States. Don't tell me. Where are you? Where
I'm
are
in
you?
Missouri.
In Missouri. All right. So I think we're on the same day. It's 11:38, right?
It is 10:38 here.
10:38. All right.
You're East Coast.
Because I'm on the East Coast. So it's 11:30. The sun, if you draw a line from the center down to the full sun, that's where noon is for me. So the sun is approaching noon. It's just a little farther from you, so it's not quite noon yet, right? Time zones only work on a flat Earth, right? So as the sun goes away, it goes farther away. It's going to be noon in California. One more time around, I guess right there is noon in California. And it goes all around. Now, look, it's morning in Australia. The sun is coming. It's coming into their view. Right in front of it is a crescent moon, because that's where our moon is right now. The sun will lap the moon once every 28 days. The sun keeps track of the hours and the days. The moon, I'll speed this up. Watch, we'll go into a new moon, give it a couple of laps, and then you'll see a crescent moon falling behind as the sun outruns it. And there's the moon. And so the moon keeps track of the weeks and the months. They used to be called months. There used to be 13 of them, 28 days each. Every month started on a Monday, ended on a Sunday. And then April 1st was the new year. April Fool's Day. Add those numbers up, it's 365. 28 days times 13 is 364, plus 1 day to reset the year. 14 times around, we're going to have a full moon because the sun is opposed to the moon. And then the stars actually are going faster than the sun. This is easy, but everybody keep your minds open. The stars are going faster than the sun. They take 365 times around to lap the sun. So the sun will slowly drift back through each zodiac as the stars outrun it 365 times around, and then it resets. You with me? Make sense?
Yeah.
So when you're driving down the road and there's trees on the side of the road, they're going, they're just going by. But the trees up on the mountain in the distance, they're moving really slow, right? That's due to perspective. That's just how we see. So the things closer to you appear to move faster, right?
Yes.
Due to perspective.
Yes.
Heliocentric model, are the stars closer or farther than the sun?
I have no idea.
Well, in the heliocentric model, the globe model, the stars are billions of light years away. Yeah. The sun is only 93 million miles away. So the sun.
You believe that, by the way?
Absolutely not. I don't believe any. It's all nonsense. But I'm saying the heliocentric model, we're going to falsify it, right? We got the sun, we got the Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Saturn, and they're all going around the sun. And then the stars are far in the distance, right? How are the stars going faster than the sun? We're spinning, so we're in the car. We're looking at things that are closer to us and farther than us, and somehow the ones that are farther are going faster than the things that are closer. Doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. The big question that half of your listeners are screaming right now, why would they lie? And let's address that at the end, because that's my favorite question of all, right? It's and that's one that I scream pretty. By the way, the faster you scream, why would they lie? The smarter you are, right? I have a frequently asked questions page. Where does the sun go? I got tons of videos there. Eclipses. We're going to get into eclipses right now. Eclipses are amazing. What about tides? What about southern flights? I got all those flight routes in there, videos on them.
Someone was asking me about the moon phases, Dave. Yeah. They were texting me here about that. Do you have anything on that as well?
Well, a lot of people think that the moon phases are caused by the shadow of the earth. That's not true. That's an eclipse, right? The moon is its own light, right? What? Wait a minute.
Says that in the Bible.
Well, it does say that in the Bible. The Bible is a flat earth book. By the way, I have a biblical section on here that has amazing stuff on it. And I say, if you're a Bible denier or a Bible lover, you need to watch those videos. They're absolutely mind-blowing stuff. So talking about the moon, I'll just do it right here. So on the app, I go to images. I'll just type in moon light.
I got to add this, Dave, just real interesting that you say this, because it says, when God creates the everything,
the sun to rule the day and the moon to rule the night.
He creates two great lights, right? And I remember arguing with people in my life when they were trying to get me to read the Bible when I was young. I said, well, right there, it's off, because my, teachings in school was that the moon is a reflection of light. I said, so it's not a light. Why would the creator call it a light when it's really just a reflection of light? Right off the bat, we're on the wrong page. And you're addressing it right now, I assume.
I assume you're and I don't want to know. I don't like to go into anyone's specific religion. You believe there's a creator. That's where I draw the line. Okay, perfect. Right? I don't believe there's a creator. I absolutely 100% know there's a creator.
Has to be, yeah.
The heliocentric model gives you reason to doubt. Right? It makes you doubt the Bible. A quick short story. I was born where my family wasn't religious. I was born into a Jewish family. We never went to temple except maybe the high holy holidays. I still don't even know what half the holidays are because I don't care. Right? And when I was a junior high school, there was a group called Young Life, and it was a young Christian organization. It was very fun. I went to the meetings. They were going to Bermuda, and I wanted to go, so I went to Bermuda with them. And the first day there, the counselor takes us out to this beautiful cliff and sits us down, and he says, "We're going to do a Bible reading." And I'm like, "All right." I've never ever even thought about the Bible, let alone looked at one. And the first verse he reads was, I forget the verse, but the stars fell to the earth. Wait a minute, I know science. Right? I know science, so I know what I was indoctrinated. Stars are billions and trillions of times bigger than the earth. How does a star fall to the earth? And I discounted all religions and the Bible for 45 years because of that moment.
Right? And so I because I have a lot of friends that are listening, and I told some, there's some very smart people in my life. And one of them said, "Oh, I don't even want to pay attention. That's ridiculous. It's crazy." And a good friend of mine, right? Mm-hmm. But what you just described, when you say, "What's the reason?" That actually happened to me. What I just described to you was one of the reasons I doubted the Bible, was because at the very beginning it says God created two great lights, the sun and the moon. And I said, well, if the moon is a reflection, so it happened to me. So what you're describing, the Bible actually happened to me.
This is by design. They're casting spells on us all the time. Not to sidetrack, but you know how like The Simpsons has stuff in it, like about the hantavirus and stuff? Right. That's not just to mock us. That's literally to cast a spell. They're using, and guess who wrote that episode? A Harvard graduate neuroscientist behavior modification guy. Oh, yeah. Right? He's
love the Harvard guys.
Club members.
Yeah. So, and by the way, anyone that thinks that, by the way, I was doing a podcast called Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, looking into all of the big conspiracies. And when people started sending me flat earth stuff, I banned them from our social media for being so stupid. I refuse to watch a 1-minute video because that's just one step too far. I mean, hey, you're telling me aliens are coming, reptiles are coming out of the ocean and invading our government? Let me look into that. You tell me anything you want. Flat earth, I'm not looking. Right? But then my friend Sophia Smallstorm, another researcher, she made me look. And I went in not to find the truth, just to disprove it. And here I am, Flat Earth Dave, talking to you. So
I get a lot of people to buy into it, man. I got to tell you,
it's not buying into it. It's using your God-given common sense.
I don't mean that in a negative manner. I'm just saying a lot of people that I know, and that's why I wanted to have you on, because I believe that we've been misled many different ways. I know that for certain right now.
Yes, you don't
some
believe.
Really smart people in my life said you should get this guy on because I believe what he's saying, and it's almost. You get ridiculed for going against.
I want to repeat. Don't believe anything. That's how we got into this mess. You need to verify these things, and you can. The Bible says verify all things.
That's right.
Right. So, anyone that thinks this is stupid, you're too smart for this. No, you're too indoctrinated. Right. And I'm going to tell you how that happens. Then we're going to go right back to this, back to the moon. But I offer 3 Bitcoins. You know what a Bitcoin is, right? Uh-huh. I don't even know what it is. Is it 80 grand right now or 60 grand, whatever it is, right? 3 Bitcoins for 1 globe proof. Easiest money you've ever made if you know that I'm wrong. 1 globe proof. Flat earthers would be gone if anyone could come up with a globe proof. They use math magic and nonsense. And we like, no, we see it because it's right there. Oh, no, it's over the curve and it's refracting up and it's luminosity. It's nonsense, absolute nonsense. So did you know? Hold on. Oops.
I love you.
Did you know? I'm all over the place. And this always happens. All right. let me get rid of that. All right. Did you know that I used to be president of the United States? You know that?
I did not know that.
Okay. Let's say we're talking in an hour from now. I go and someone goes, can you name 5 presidents? Are you going to bring up my name?
No.
Did you forget that I said that?
No, I just didn't believe it.
No, but so you remembered it, but it was stored as false information.
Correct.
No need to verify.
Correct.
Next week, would you start researching just to make sure?
Probably not.
No, because your life experience has an interweb of information. So anytime anything happens, let's just say 9/11. I'm going to be careful what I say because eventually I'm going to put this on YouTube. When it happened, everyone's trying to figure out what happened. All of the things that were subliminally sent to us, it's shown to us from the Supertramp album to, just all of these things, our brain accesses all of them and gives it more credibility. That's what all of this pre-programming stuff is going on. So we're programmed, right? So you go into a kid in kindergarten and the teacher goes, we have presidents of the United States. Dave Weiss was the president. They're going to be like, oh, cool. You know why? Because you have your conscious mind, which is your conscious mind, and your subconscious mind, which is your hard drive, your storage.
Right.
You can put anything in your subconscious mind, but it's judged before it gets there. So when you're a kid, you have very little threads in your outer conscious mind. So the holes are gigantic, right? You have cast a web this way. I know the presidents. I know this. I know Dave Weiss does this. I know that. And your holes are so small that I can't get that whopper through those holes, right? And that's how our minds work. We store information. No need to verify. There's no way. But you tell a kid that I was president of the United States. All right, they write it down. And then in social studies, it comes up again. They show a movie, right? And in the movie, it mentions Dave Weiss was president. And then there's a story, and Dave Weiss is mentioned in a newspaper, as president. And the kid sees this, and then they go to the White House on their 6th grade trip, and they look, Dave Weiss, he's president, right? And their whole life just keeps reinforcing. When they're 30 years old, you go, Dave Weiss wasn't president, and they will fight you to the death that I was with zero proof. We're told the earth is a globe with zero proof. Zero. Yeah,
it's almost unprovable, right? And to prove it, because I think the reason most people believe it is because the satellite images that we believe are satellite images of the Earth. That's what first thing my dad said. He goes,
we're gonna go
pictures. The Earth is circular.
All right, we're gonna so here. Let's keep track. We're gonna do the moonlight. We're gonna do satellites, and then what was the other one I wanted to go to? What did you bring up a minute ago? It was moonlight, satellites. I see. All right.
I still want to know where the sun goes. Just if it can be simple, where does the sun go when it comes back up? What we perceive to be the east. Where's that sun?
The sun is small and local. All right. I'll show you that in a second. We're just showing them. We're good. Go stick with moonlight. Then we'll go back to where the sun goes. Right. A ball has a specular highlight when there's a single source of light. Where's the specular highlight on the moon? There isn't. It's go out on a full moon night. You got to wait 15 days from now or 16. There'll be a full moon. But this is a light. This is a rock reflecting light. There's a thing called the inverse square law of light. The closer you are to an object, the brighter it will be. The farther away you go, that light has to spread out and it gets dimmer and dimmer. I'm standing right next to this. The sun is shining on it. How come it doesn't look like a light? This is from Earth. This is a light. Where is it? This is a light. This is a street light, and this is the moonlight. It's a light. It's not reflecting anything, right? We see the light from Earth, but when they're on the moon, it's a dusty, dirty ball, right? If you went halfway to the moon, it would be 4 times brighter. This is the inverse square law. Halfway from there, again, 16 times brighter. Halfway again, 64 times brighter. When you got within 100 miles from the moon, the luminosity, if we started out with a luminosity of 1 from Earth, would be brighter than we see the sun from Earth. But we got guys playing golf and driving doom buggies, and there's no glare. Okay? It's funny. It's funny because it's.
I think it is too. I think the Earth, the going to the moon thing. As I got older, I started saying that doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Man, those cameras were really good back in the '60s. You know, from the streaming. Man, I don't know where we lost all that technology.
On the app, on the more resources page, I created an Artemis section because the Globers are like, we wait until Artemis happens. Artemis happens. I thank God every night that NASA gave us Artemis, because NASA has made more flat earthers than I have with this Artemis trip. It is unreal. It's so bad. So, all right. So where we're looking for, where does the sun go?
I just want to, because I think the hardest thing for people to get through their minds are the most simple questions, right? Because if it sets in the west, if I'm in Missouri, right? So if I'm in West County, I see it go over in the west. And then I think the biggest argument that anybody would have is when I wake up in the morning, it's coming up from the east. Where's the sun going in the meantime?
I'm going to show you. Okay. So here are these street lights. They're going down and down and down and down. Now let's say maybe this is a half a mile to right here. Yep. Can you see the light that's a mile away? No, it's beyond the horizontal line of your vision. Okay. Right? I can see they're all the same height. Is it going below the road? No, it's just going out of my view. Right. And that's without an atmosphere interfering here. We have this whole atmosphere and it becomes opaque, and the sun is just going beyond this. The sun does a circle. Where is it? So the sun is just circling. It rises in the east. Remember, east is this way. Turn on the compass. It rises in the east. Do it like that. So it rises in the east and sets in the west. Right? It rises in the east and so it's going west. This is west. West is a right-hand circle. Well, airplanes don't turn to the right. It's the same on a globe. Airplanes have to turn to the right to maintain their heading of 270.
So the sun is circling. It's just circling.
It's circling. It's circling over the surface, and as it moves out of your range. Now, this outer yellow line here, let me make it bigger. So the outer yellow line right there is the Tropic of Capricorn. We've all heard that, but nobody knows what it is because they never really thought about it. The inner yellow line is the Tropic of Cancer. The red line in the middle is the equator. Right now, the sun is pretty close to the equator. It's actually a little bit inside. The north is the inner part. The south is the outer parts, right? So everything outside of the equator is in the south, and everything inside of the equator is in the north. Makes sense. So when the sun comes here to the Tropic of Cancer in June 21st, give or take, it's closer to the north. That's why we have our summer, because the sun is closer. It's like the street light down the road. When it's closer, it's higher. And if it was a heat lamp, it would be warmer, right? We'll talk about seasons in a second because that'll help you understand. So the sun can only, so by the way, if you're here, I will start here. If you're right here, you don't see the sun yet. You don't see it until it gets closer, but the daylight is here. Tomorrow morning, wake up 20 minutes before sunrise, half hour before sunrise. It's already daylight. Go on the west side of your house. It's already daylight. Where the sun's below the curve. That's impossible. Impossible. The sun is electric. The gases in the sky are fluorescent. The sky becomes opaque. We see a blue sky next month, not next month, in a week or two. When the moon is full, in a week from now, the moon's going to be in the day sky, right behind the sun. It's going to be right behind the sun. So you'll see the sun. You'll see it slightly east of the sun. And you'll look at the moon and you'll see the blue sky behind it. Goes against everything you learned. Oh, eclipses we were going to do, right?
Answer that one right there, real fast.
Yeah.
How do you? Because I was going to ask the same question. How do you explain no sunset at the North Pole? I have witnessed the all-day sun, like in Alaska. My daughter was in Alaska.
100%.
How do you get 24 hours of sun?
100%. So if we go, where are we in May? Are we May already?
Yes.
June. So June, the sun is in here. All right. It's close. So when you're way near the middle, the sun never gets far enough away from you to set. It's always close. See how the light goes past the North Pole? So if you're within that Arctic circle, the sun will just circle around. And if you're high up, even farther out, you'll see the sun go all the way around. You go to Norway and book a 24-hour sun vacation. They're like, yep, between these dates, you'll be able to see it from your hotel, roof, whatever. And you can go to Alaska, same thing. In the north, the sun is tight, making tight circles around. It's not the curve, it's the distance the sun is from you. That's why in the winter, when the sun is all the way out here, oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When the sun is all the way October, November, December, when the sun's way out here, it's lower in the sky. We have a shorter day. It sets earlier. It sets earlier because it's farther away. So we have much shorter days. Pretty crazy, right?
It is.
So let's talk about eclipses. Eclipses are also one of my favorite. You know, and we're brainwashed by Bill Nye, the lying guy with the bow tie.
I know he's a liar.
Yeah, and Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Another liar. Harvard guy, another Harvard guy.
Yeah, they're all Freemasons or whatever, and you know, doesn't mean all Freemasons are bad, but eclipses. So the eclipse is, if the Earth was flat, the eclipse would look like this. Only a sphere can create a curved shadow no matter what angle it shadows at. Cool story. Fact that it's not true. Wait a minute. Only a sphere can create a curved shadow no matter which way it hits. That's what we're taught. That's what we're taught, right? So we're taught that only a sphere can cast a circular shadow on another sphere, right?
Right.
Okay. It's not true. The curves cancel each other out. We got a ball here. We got a single source light and another ball, right? It casts a circular shadow on a flat wall, but when we put the ball in between, we look, the shadow's straight. It's not a curved shadow. But that's not what we see when we look at the eclipse. What is going on here? Hold on a second. And I'm going to blow your mind with the solar eclipse. This is going to blow your mind. So here is one we did actually more to scale. So we have our single source light. Come on, Anthony. All right. All right. So we got our single source light shining on the Earth. It's down there. And we did this all to scale. And we got the moon, which is 30 Earth lengths away or something like that. And we're just going to put it in the middle here, just to test. And look at the shadow. It's straight. It's not a curved shadow. So the fact that they start with a lie and then confirm what they're saying because they're seeing something is proof of just fakery. And this is the actual distance, a little fuzzier, right? It's a straight line again. It's not a curved line. It's a straight line. How about that?
Isaiah? I need Isaiah's opinion.
Yeah, all my buddies are flat Earth I know you say not to say believers, but you know, if there's two camps of the people, even in the chat here, people are upset, right? It's so funny, but a lot of my friends they were so excited that you were going to come on because they've been hounding me for years. And for me, I guess it's one of those things that doesn't really change my life personally, because I'm not
wrong.
I'm not a globe
no, you're not a globe zealot, and you live your life and you're doing your thing. But when you understand, here's the thing: do you respect God?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
I went to Bible college.
God created an incredible place for us, put us at the center, made us important. But if you believe you live on a globe, it's a satanic model, and I can show you how satanic it is. It says that you're disavowing God's creation. You are not at the center. You are a random speck. You came from pond scum, and you turned into an amoeba, and
that's what they tell me as well.
Right, and evolution, right? The globe lie is diluting God. When I was a kid, in school, we used to have prayer, and they would sometimes even read the Bible, and then they removed that from school and replaced it with the Space Initiative. The Space Initiative sounds cool. We all love space. Every single kid wants to be an astronaut, right? The space initiative is a way to dilute God, right? If you want to dilute a glass of milk, you pour it in a bathtub, it's a little diluted. Pour it in a swimming pool, better. Pour it in the ocean, it's gone, right? How do you dilute God? Pour him into infinite expanding space. Say that you're not the center of creation. You are random. You came from a lightning strike that happened after nothing exploded and created everything. And then that everything started sticking into gassy balls and creating a vacuum. Gas balls in a vacuum, that's a problem. Yeah. And then lightning strikes and creates DNA magically, and DNA turns into a cell and turns into an amoeba and turns into a fish. The fish grows some legs and grows lungs and climbs out and finds another sexy fish, has a monkey, and then it has a retarded baby. And that's where we come from, right? So that's what they want you to believe. It sounds nuts, but that's what they teach our kids.
Do you see this on the screen, Dave?
Yeah. This is. I actually think for me, this person says this verse proves that the Earth is round, but for me, this verse supports the flat Earth.
Let me hear it
because it says, and I'll read it out of my Bible right here. I went to Bible college. Rob always has me have my Bible ready to go for all sorts of things on the show. So in Isaiah chapter 40, verse 22, it says, it is he who sits above the circle of the earth, and its inhabitants are like grasshoppers.
Yeah. So
why does it not
look up definition? Look up the definition of circle.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what it is. It's a line on a plane.
Yeah.
Where all points are equidistant from a center point.
It's not a sphere, it's a circle.
It's a circle.
Yeah.
The circle of the earth. Right? I think the earth is way bigger than this. That's me. I don't know where the dome attaches. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it goes on for millions of miles. Right? And people that are like, oh, what about extraterrestrial? They're pushing the extraterrestrial agenda. That's coming hard. But that extraterrestrials, if they exist, I think they do. They're here on Earth. They're a commercial plane flight away. They're not ridiculous miles. Check this out. The closest star in the heliocentric system is 4.5 light years away, right? Light travels 1,180, allegedly, not true, 1,186,000 miles per second. Do that for 4.5 years, and that's how far the closest star is. 25 trillion miles. You with me? 25 trillion miles, 25 trillion. Now, we've heard bigger numbers than that, right? Rob, how long do you think 1 trillion seconds is?
Oh my gosh.
Take a guess. If you guess it within a week, I'll give you a Bitcoin.
1,000 years.
31,000 years.
All right.
Okay. So 31,000. That was actually a good guess. A lot of people are like, 550 years, right? 31,000 years. So if you and I got in a rocket ship, went faster than anyone's ever gone, which is a mile per second, it would take us 31,000 years to go 1/25th of the way to the closest star. But if Elon gave us a rocket that goes 100,000 miles an hour, which is unfathomable, it would only take us 28,000 years to get there. You see what that does to your mind?
Right.
You just short circuit. You're like, I can't handle numbers like that. Michio Kaku, the leading astrophysicist, scientist guy, says that cosmology is off by a factor. He says if you're off by a factor of 2 or 10, it's considered horrible. But cosmology is off by a factor of 10 to the 120th power. Let me tell you about that number. It doesn't exist. That number is impossible. Think about that. And this is your brain's going to melt. Ready? Let's say cosmologists can make 1 million mistakes every second. How long would it take them to make a 10 to the 120th power mistakes? Remember, they're making 1 million mistakes every second. How long would it take?
Oh my God.
No idea. Let me tell you how long it would take. And this number is still not going to make sense to you. They tell us the universe is 13.5 billion years old. It would take 13.5 billion years of making a mistake every second. No, 1 million mistakes every second for 13.5 billion years. And then you have to take that number and multiply it by 10 to the 90th. We only used up a couple of those zeros. So again, they're melting your mind with nonsense, right?
Well, these are some of the questions that I want to ask you, because I agree with you on many things. I think there are things that are unknowable. So when people tell me this star is this far away or this
that, well, not only are they unknowable, but we can disprove them. We can disprove the claims that are made. You make a hard claim. If I say the dome is made of crystal, where's your proof, Dave? I don't have any. All right, I don't have any proof. Right, so I'm not making that claim. But remind me, we're going to do the sun, the distances to the stars. We're going to quickly we're going to finish on eclipse and go to the distances of the stars. All right.
Go.
Just remember that for me.
Okay.
So one of the things that if the sun circles over Cancer once every 24 hours, that means it has to go faster when it's over Capricorn to make that same circle in 24 hours because it's a longer path, right? Right.
Yep.
So the hour hand on a clock moves at the same speed, but the tip is going faster than the middle, which is going faster than in here as far as linear distance. Angular distance, it's the angular move, it's going the same number of degrees per minute or hour or whatever. Okay. So it's moving faster when it's out here. Well, guess what? A solar eclipse is when the sun is blocked out allegedly by the moon. We're going to assume it's the moon because the moon is right where it should be when it blocks the eclipse. But nobody has ever seen the moon approach eclipse or exit the face of the sun. They've just seen the sun have a bite taken out of it and disappear, but you never see the moon. And I can show you more on that in a second. But if you look, all of the longest eclipses happen in the north, the longest time from start to finish, right? So when the sun's out here, it's going faster. This is, okay, yeah. So I'm going to show you, it's going faster out here, same angular speed. All right, where's my thing? All right, so I'm modeling two different eclipses, right? So here's the hour hand, and this eclipse starts. This one hasn't started yet. Keep going, right? This one started now. Now they're both full. This one ended, and that one's still going. All of the longest eclipses happen in the north.
Is that true?
100%.
And that's documented, and this is just known fact?
Documented, known fact. All of them. Every single one.
Isaiah, help me out.
Yeah, fascinating. That doesn't prove the earth is flat. It just proves just another piece of the preponderance of evidence. The preponderance of evidence.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna show you. So we'll go back to the lunar eclipse. Now, the lunar eclipse is when the Earth gets it. This is the heliocentric explanation, which I do not believe and can be falsified. I'm going to falsify it right now. It's when the sun, Earth, and moon are in a straight line and the Earth's shadow blocks the moon, right?
Yes.
That's your understanding.
Yes.
So if we had a viewer, wherever you are, you're the the eclipse hasn't started yet. Now it's started. Now it's going, and that's what we're told the eclipse does, right?
Yep.
All right. So there's a thing called the selenilian eclipse. Hard to say, but it is what it is. All right. So you're the observer here, and above your right horizon, the sun is still above the horizon, and above your left horizon, the moon is still above the horizon. Has the eclipse started yet? Well, no, it can't because we're not in alignment if the Earth is making the shadow. The problem is, depending on where you are in the world, these selenilian eclipses happen. And not only does it happen when the Earth is not in alignment, allegedly, the shadow comes in from the top. It should come in from the bottom, right? This is a selenilian eclipse. The guy behind the camera, the moon is still in the sun is still in the sky. Well, the Earth is below that line between the two. Why is the shadow coming in from the top? This is what you should have seen. This is what they did see. And you know what scientists call the selenilian eclipse, probably because they can't pronounce it, is they call it the impossible eclipse. Because it's geometrically impossible.
Unexplained.
And then they just leave it. Well, we can't explain it, but it is. We can't explain it, but it is, right? It's just a religion. So remember I told you that the sun, I don't know if I told you, the sun fluoresces the gases in the sky up high. The majority of the gas is nitrogen. Nitrogen fluoresces blue. If you have a nitrogen light, it's a blue light. And that's why we have the blue sky. That's one of the reasons, right? And so when the sun goes away, the fluorescing stops and we can see through the sky and see the stars. The sun becomes opaque, right? So this is an eclipse I filmed. There was a lot of
You got a naysayer there.
What do I got?
Somebody said, have to interject. Say, I want these people to ask questions, though.
Yeah.
So somebody says, have to interject here as someone who has taught physics and astronomy for 25 years. The evidence for a spherical Earth beyond compelling for anyone who looks into it. This segment is a waste of time.
Yeah. So present your proof and win your 3 Bitcoins.
Yeah.
That's it.
Did you teach in public school too? Because I would say that's not real teaching.
All I say is if that's true, look, I don't know, right?
Yep.
I think that's we began the show by saying we don't know, or I don't know. But if that's true, just give us something that we can tangibly ask, or something that we can manifest. Ask the question that would prove this to be not true. That's all I'm saying.
Let me give you. I'm going to help them out. I'll give you their top 3 globe proofs. Ready?
Yes, that's what I was going to ask you. What are the biggest ones where the people try to trip you up?
No, I'm going to give you their top 3. The best 3 that they have. Dave, you're retarded. Where did you get your education? And I have a degree.
Right.
Those are the best, but they never offer a proof. So here's the eclipse.
Yep.
And we don't see the moon. We just see a missing part of the sun. And here's what I call my rear projection eclipse. I have a paper towel hanging here. I have a light source that I'm projecting a circle onto here, and I'm eclipsing it with a bottle cap from behind it. You understand? You see, you see the setup?
Yep.
So this is the eclipse that we filmed. Let me just hit play here. And this is a lens flare, but this is locked in position with the sun. It's not moving around. See how it's locked to the sun? Like, what is this? And my theory, and I'm going to test my theory with an experiment, is that this is the source of the sun. This is in the firmament or above the firmament, and this is the sun that we see projected into our sky. So how can we do a little test for this? So let me just flash forward here. So here's my eclipse. I'm going to show you a side view so I can show you what I'm doing here, right? You don't see the bottle cap. There it is, right? You don't see it. You just see the eclipse. This is the sun that we see, and this is the source. So that would be our sky, and the sun, the real sun, would be in it. Now, we don't see the bottle cap again because there's no light being projected. It's just eclipsing our sun. So now I said, you know what? Maybe the sky is more transparent. I got a piece of tissue paper. Here's the projector. I'm looking through the sheet right here. And during, like, we had those fires that the smoke came from Canada. The sky was really dim. A lot of people were seeing 2 suns in the sky. And during eclipses, a lot of people see this thing. And that's because, you know, the eclipse is like 95% of the lightness is gone. And now we can see through the sky because the sky isn't as opaque. And here's the real eclipse and the model eclipse. And we see the same thing. It's my theory. You got a better one?
Right.
Got a better one?
I want the people that are the naysayers to give me something that I can ask you that would trip you up, because
I want to answer it. Yeah.
And I watched I was watching your video. You've been asked everything. I was thinking, I had to go to RAK this morning. I was talking to Isaiah. I said, I want to give him some questions that people may not have asked. But as I was watching just some of your video, I think people have asked you everything I could possibly think of. You've been asked, and you don't seem to get tripped up by anything.
No, I don't. And when I don't know. But that doesn't, so we think we see the moon here. We don't. We think we see the moon here. We don't. We just see missing sun. Look, this is the sky right here. And there's a piece of the sun missing. If something was in front of the sun, we would see it, especially because the earth shine would light it up like the moonshine lights the earth. I can read a book by the moonshine. The earth shine. Nobody has ever, from any vantage point, seen the moon approach, eclipse, or exit. We just see missing sun. We see sky. The sunlight is not here. Now, I can imagine the ball all the way over here, but I'm imagining it. This is missing. If the moon was in front of the sun, we would see it, especially when there's a full eclipse. So there you go.
That does make sense to me. Somebody says, how can it be sunrise in St. Louis, but sunset in Sydney at the same time?
Perfect. Thank you for asking. Let's take a look.
Yeah, John's got a lot of questions. I'm meeting with John later on today. He's got a lot of questions for you. I've been watching it. He's peppering you with questions.
Yeah.
I think that's the way it's supposed to be. You got a challenge.
Okay. So Sydney is over there. I can't point to it. I just make it a big. You see Sydney just before the second hand, right? The beginning of Australia over there. And what was it? What did he say?
How can it be Back that. Let me find it here. I don't want to get it wrong. Where'd he go?
There you go. I threw it up.
Where'd it go?
St. Louis, right?
Yeah.
So somewhere middle America. So middle America right here. And we got over there. So watch. We're going to just make the sun go around. Now, what time of year? And again, these observations work perfectly, right? So it's dawn in Sydney, right? Sun is about to rise. Sun's rising in Sydney right now. And it's setting in middle America. Thank you. Next.
I love it. Isaiah, you got any questions that you saw on the let me see here if we got any.
Yeah, there's some other questions that people, so this one I'll throw up. Thomas, we already answered this one. Dave did a really good explanation about the sun. He wasn't talking about a ship, but I think he did a good explanation with the sun. If you go back and watch the show earlier, he goes through all of that. So the question was already answered there. Just wanted to at least let him know that you had answered that question, Dave.
Dave, I got one for you real fast because I don't want to forget about it.
I just want to make a quick little plug. FlatEarthDave.com. My app is there. It's a $3 app, and it will teach you. It'll change your life forever. Now, why do I charge $3? Because this app costs a ton of money to run. Yeah. And now people like Bill, Lying Box, the other astronomer guy. He says there are no flat earthers, right? No civilization ever thought of flat earth, thought the earth was flat. They all did, right? So I'm just giving you, this is my app, which represents less than 1% of the flat earthers on earth. Look at this. These are people that are on the friend finder on my app, right? Is flat earth dying? No. Flat earth is taking over the world. Once you go flat, you never glow back. Right? Because you see the truth.
That's what Mitch said earlier, Rob.
You can't unsee it, right? Everywhere. South Africa. Look, is that South Africa? Yeah. It's crazy. Australia. Right? Melbourne. There's people everywhere. And those are just the people that are on the friend finder on the app. So the pitch is, get the app. Every day there's a featured video right here. I put short ones on during the week, longer ones on the weekend.
I'm fascinated by the
But hang on. And this is what I say. Don't believe me. Every morning while you're having your tea or coffee or whatever, when you have 2 minutes, click this little thumbnail, watch the video. Do that for 2 weeks. At the end of the 2 weeks, if you think that the earth is a globe, send me the proof and I'll send you 3 Bitcoins. But before you waste my time, you have to hit the question mark button. That brings you up to the frequently asked questions. Make sure it's not answered. There it is. And then go on to your next question. And before you even send me something, you're going to be a flat earther. So there you go.
I got this one for you. So buddy of mine last night, I told him you were coming on. And he said, what about these people that adjust their sights? Like if they're snipers and they have to adjust their sights. He says you have to adjust it for the curvature of the earth.
No, you don't. You don't adjust it for how would you adjust for the curvature of the earth? You just aim at the thing and you aim lower until something's hidden behind the hill. Oh, that's what we got to do. We got to talk about the curvature. But let's talk about it. The longest sniper shot was just over 4 miles. I think it was about 2 years ago. And we reached out to the sniper and asked if he calculated in Coriolis. Coriolis is the version of the bullet. Neil deGrasse Tyson said that the Eagles football game, whatever game it was the winning field goal was deflected or went in because of the rotation of the earth by 3/4 of an inch. Bull crap. Does Tiger Woods calculate the hang time of his ball? Right? Do tennis players calculate which way they're shooting their serve shot? You know, it's so dumb what people believe. Toilets spin in the opposite direction in Australia. False. Stars spin in the opposite direction in the South. False. They make these claims, and then people are like, well, they do go in the opposite direction, therefore the Earth is a globe. Not true. In the North, if I look at the North Star, the stars will go counterclockwise around the North Star. In the South, if I look south, the stars will go clockwise. That means the Earth is a globe? No, it means you turned around. In the North, they go counterclockwise when I look north, but if I turn south, they're going clockwise. If you're in your car, you look at the left wheel, it's going clockwise. And you look at the right wheel, it's going counterclockwise, but they're both going forward. The Earth doesn't spin like this. It's right. The globe model doesn't even say that, but people don't think things through thoroughly.
What's your take on what is your take on NASA just in general? Because NASA would say, obviously, there's a solar system out there. We got this baby figured out. They take all the pictures from the sky. Do you think that this is just a kind of a mind control operation to get you further away from God? Is that what you think NASA is genuinely is all about? Because when you mentioned Artemis, I didn't even know that we were going to have you on when I looked at Artemis. And I remember talking to Isaiah. I think we talked about it on the show, didn't we, Isaiah? How fake everything looked, and these people did not look like they could be smart enough to cut my lawn, much less go to space.
And she's on stage getting interviewed, and then the next day she can't even walk.
Exactly.
I remember seeing this, and they said in 2017, global dimming, pollution. This is horrible, and I was like, oh wow, that's really sad. That's really bad. But look, the clouds are the same. Do they do this on purpose as a test? Look at the clouds; they're the same. This is from NASA.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're right.
The clouds are the same. Here's a good one. So we can't verify anything in space, but we can verify on Earth. Here's Mexico and Baja. We can calculate, we can actually measure that's 934 miles. We can actually verify this. So this is verifiable, 934 miles. NASA tells us that the diameter of the Earth from one side to the other, 7,917 miles. Well, 7,917 divided by 934 is 8.5. I can't fit 8.5 on this page. How I should fit like 3.5 of them here if that was right. It's not right. This is just a painting. It's just a painting, but it's from NASA, right? United States changing size, right? You can go to NASA right now and look up the Blue Marble 2001 and 2007 on the same page, and they use the same clouds.
Isaiah? You got to check that out. What happens? So, Dave, what happens when these rockets go straight up into the sky, right? Because I watch them from Florida. I go back and forth. I live in Florida, and I grew up in Missouri.
You said something that you were indoctrinated to say. You never look. They don't ever go straight up into the sky, ever.
They do go up, and then they start to turn. I do notice that.
They go up, they turn, and then they show us cartoons, right? So rocket path. I'm just going to type in rocket. So this app will help you when your friends go, what about rockets? They all do this. They all go up, curve, and then they go out of our range of view. And sometimes while they're still in our range of view, the smoke stops. I'm like, wait a minute, what happened? Did it just like, oh, now we can glide? We're high enough. I can still see you, right? It just disappears. My friend Keith, his channel is Aloha from Florida, he filmed the Artemis launch. It curved up, it went over, and he filmed it longer than anybody else. And he put it on his Facebook page, got 1 million some odd crazy number of views overnight. And now his entire Facebook is gone. No explanation, nothing, right? Gone. He lost everything. All of our chats, everything gone. All of his pictures, his family, everything gone. Because of that video? Well, I don't get it.
Right. Have they restricted you just on a political thing? Because we get, I've been so many times.
Censored. You're on Rumble. That's you're already banned from YouTube, right?
I haven't been banned from YouTube, but we just started.
We just get kicked off every once in a while, and then we got to go appeal it. And
Facebook nonstop. I tell everybody, I said, listen, we'll figure this thing out, but it is hard to get a message out because when you explore things and you just say, let's ask some questions, let's try to figure things out as a society. Nobody seems to like that within the social media world. It's very strange. It really limits your ability to spread a message, which I'm sure you're finding out because what you're talking about you would think that, free thinking people would want to explore this with you. And I'm sure it's hard for you to get your message out.
It is, but I go on so many different shows now that the algorithm doesn't know what to do. And I've got the app out there, and now people are spreading the word. We have an army of people out there. The flat Earth is out of the bottle; it's not going back in. So they're trying to get ahead of it right now. I speculated about Artemis was so bad. Maybe they're trying to expose space being fake, so people can digest that, and then they could lead to flat Earth. Because if CNN or whatever came out tonight and said Earth is flat, the people would just freak out. So they're trying to normalize it, right? 15 years ago, Sophia Smallstorm said to me, they're going to normalize pedophilia. And I said, no way. Now we make jokes about pedophilia.
Minor attracted persons.
It's incredible.
Yes, and I was going to say too. Did you pay attention? Can you bring this up? I just want to get Dave's, and then I'll let you go on with your day, Dave.
All
The Katy Perry coming back. Did you see this thing?
Oh yeah. I have a whole section on it.
So incredibly fake that it boggles the mind that even one person that can walk and chew gum at the same time would buy into that story. It's just ridiculous, like in a romper room house, and they come back down to earth, and they're in the middle of nowhere, and they open this door like you would open the door to your to your garage, and it's just so stupid. And yet they convinced the whole world that Katy Perry and her friends went up into space in this thing. It's just
I did so many breakdowns of that. It's absolutely incredible.
Silly, though. But I mean, you just look at it. You don't even be a smart person to look at it and realize it's stupid. But like you said, this is the argument I have with a lot of people that are supportive of Trump. I said, you know what? Hate him, love him, whatever. We're learning more about the world now than we ever have because things are so blatantly, obviously ridiculous. Look at this.
Yeah.
And there's Jeff Bezos from Amazon, who's a part of the military, and everybody thinks he started this out of his basement, which is nonsense as well. But look at this. It's crazy.
That thing fell out of the sky, right? It fell out of the sky. And the one with William Shatner on it, did you watch that one? It was
I haven't seen that one.
Oh my God. Well, they sent William Shatner up, and there's like no way they would send this fat old man up there, with his hurt back. And it slams into the ground so hard. Nobody is ever on any of these rockets. It's all just a Hollywood show.
What do they do? Just shoot them up into the air and then let them land in the ocean?
No, well, sometimes they don't even shoot anything, but they shoot something up, and the landings are all just dropped out of airplanes. If they do that at all, like Artemis, that was all augmented reality. That was all AI. The whole landing is nonsense. Nobody saw the landing. Nobody, right? And people are like, well, some amateur astronomers tracked it coming in through the atmosphere where NASA couldn't show us anything, but some amateur photographers showed a black sky with a couple stars and then a little friggin' pixel of light. Well, wait a minute. I thought it was moving sideways at 25,000 miles an hour. How did you keep it in frame? Right? It's so dumb. The acceleration, deceleration issue coming in, that would liquefy people. The amount of G's they would experience. There's no brakes on that thing. It's coming in 25,000 miles an hour. And the air is going to slow it down to 200 miles an hour so the parachutes can come out. They can't release the little parachutes until it's like 200 miles an hour, or they'll just shred, allegedly. Right? The air is going to do it. So at 100,000 feet, the air is so thin. How's that going to slow it down? So now at like 80,000 feet, let's say the air is thick enough where it could slow it down. Right? It would have to decelerate so fast they couldn't handle the G's. And the other thing is, that's if it's coming straight down. They'd literally have like 8 seconds before they hit the ground. And the G's to slow you down from 25,000 to zero is ridiculous. But they said, oh, no, it's coming in at an angle. Well, this thing's coming in, right? The shape of the capsule. They say, why doesn't it tumble? Why is the big fat ass part coming down first? Well, the fat ass part is weighted, they said. It's heavier. Okay. Well, if it's coming in at an angle, why isn't it turning? Because it's heavier. Right. Why is it staying at an angle? And the other question is, let me get to Artemis. Let me just show you this. This is Elon Musk testing his rocket.
I was going to ask you about that too.
Yeah. So this is the rocket that he's going to send to Mars. This is a test. Look at this little launch pad. Look at this thing. So, and everything's always edit, onboard camera, offboard camera. Now, is this moving fast? Is this little gas flame? Wait, where's the smoke's down there, but now there's no smoke, right? This is what they showed us as his successful test. Now, look, the engine's already burning out. Camera on the ground. Oh, now we're up pretty high. Camera on the ground. Look at the smoke. How fast is this thing actually moving, right? Where's the thrust coming? Now we're up really high. Now it's falling, okay? Now look at the speed of the smoke. And watch, it's going to edit. It's going to go even slower, right? So, look how slow the smoke is moving. This is free falling. This is 10 tons or whatever. Free falling. Look at this. Oh, look how high it is all of a sudden. This is not out of order. This is what they showed us. Now this thing's falling. 3 engines are going to go on. It's going to magically go upright. The cameraman's going to go underneath it. Now look how high they are. And 2 of the engines are going to burn out, and then it's going to land upright on a bullseye. Ready? 3 engines are going to turn on. Who's filming this? It goes upright. Cameraman gets underneath. 2 of the engines are going to burn out. Ready? Watch. 1.
This is the actual video?
This is the actual video. Now watch. And then it's going to edit. to the landing, CGI smoke, and it lands upright. Edit. If this was a B-rated movie, you'd ask for your money back.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but people can watch that and they're going, I don't understand. What's that?
I got to ask you one more thing, because I took my daughter to the Science Center. This might have been 10 or 15 years ago. It's when we supposedly landed this piece of machinery that was going to take soil samples and rock samples from Mars. And I remember I went and saw it at the Science Center in St. Louis. It's where you got the bigger round. It's kind of cool where you get the whole thing around you. And they're showing it. And as I'm watching that, I'm thinking to myself, because I think through things, I've got that weird sensation where I try to figure out how things are going down. And they're showing this thing bouncing around on Mars. And I'm thinking to myself, well, where's the camera? If this thing is just landing on Mars, how is there a camera there to film it, to show it to me? Right? Because if you're showing me this craft landing on Mars, there has to be a camera that's showing it. And there's a camera watching this thing on Mars. It just seemed to me like a common sense question.
Like the moon landing, the first
Same
stuff
thing,
on the moon,
exactly.
film from the moon landing.
But why can't people answer that question if they're so positive? That's what I don't
ask you a question. NASA, when they're doing stuff, if they're launching a rocket, considering, the Challenger disaster hoax, anything could happen. So you would clear out some airspace, would you say? How big would that radius be? 100 miles? 200 miles?
Right.
At least, right?
Yep.
There's airplanes all over the sky during the launch, and always some random guy from his Spirit airline flight catches this thing taking off. There's no way. And then if you listen to the video, you can hear the people on the plane. Nobody's overwhelmed. Nobody's going, wow. The pilot's like, if you look out our port side window, you can see the launch, and it's like so fake. Now, this might have been an airplane filming something, a toy rocket. But, and if you watch any of the launches, see all the smoke. Well, when the smoke stops, what does that mean?
That means it's got no...
it's out of fuel.
Yeah, it's not propelling it anymore.
It's barely higher than the clouds, and it's going to run out of fuel. And it's curving already. Well, that's because it doesn't go up. It goes with the spin of the earth, and it whips itself around because it's more fuel efficient that way. Cool story. Cool story, bro.
Look at that.
Yeah. And there's all sorts. There's all sorts of crazy stuff. Check us out. This was on Artemis. We'll look at a couple Artemis things. Watch his string on his shirt. Ready? Boop. It just jumps up. It just starts dancing. What is going on there? This is all augmented reality, fake. Look at this guy.
I saw that when they were showing it originally. Yeah. It was like
right. And then again, NASA doesn't post this, but on Facebook, you get all of these NASA fanboy pages are showing the parade of this, but every single one of these is a different capsule. Every single one. If you look at the windows, they're different. The tiling, it's different. It's different, right? But these are on all the NASA fanboy pages. So these are all bot pages. These are all AI pages. And people are just buying it up. People are just buying it up that it's real.
Fascinating.
Yeah. And so why are they all pushing the same thing, right? It's incredible how dumb. Look at this one. The truck isn't even attached to the trailer. It's all AI. It's all AI.
Incredible. Man, I'll tell you what, pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. And nobody's really been able to say, hey, let me give me them 3 Bitcoins.
Not even close. They'll make false claims like stars rotate in the opposite direction, Coriolis effect, snipers adjust for Coriolis, the moon's upside down in Australia, and that could only happen on a globe. No, the moon's upside down in Australia because you're on the other side of the Earth, right? I can't see Polaris from the big one is I can't see Polaris from the south. Well, look at this. Imagine you and I were in a Home Depot. And we're in the center of the store, and we look up, and the lights in the ceiling are all random lights. I'm like, hey, that looks like a horse. And you're like, yeah, I can see that. And that looks like a snake. You're like, yeah, I can see that. Now let's expand that Home Depot to 10 miles wide by 10 miles long, okay? And you go walking down aisle 6 for 40 minutes. You're about 2 miles away. I can't see you because less than a mile away, the ceiling and the floor have merged and I can't see, right? So I yelled, you can't hear, you're 2 miles away. So I call you and I say, look up at the ceiling. Do you see the snake? Do you see the horse? You're like, no, I see totally different lights. Like, oh, Home Depot must be a sphere. It's how dumb it is.
Yeah.
It's perspective. It's atmosphere. It's attenuation of light. And here's the thing. Most people hated school because it was prison. And our souls, deep down inside, our souls knew that we're being taught complete and total BS.
Right.
And we learned slave mathematics, corporate slave mathematics. It never taught us about sacred geometry or vortex mathematics or anything that really would change our lives. And so you hated school. You never want to do it again. Well, now I'm here going, well, everything you learned is a lie, every single thing. And you have to learn it all over again. And people are like, no, that's too painful. I don't want to do that. And they just want to go. I'm pretty happy. I get 2 weeks and a vacation a year. And in 3 years from now, I'll get 3 weeks. Right.
Yep.
Paid. And that's awesome. Right. And basically it's part of the system. They just need us. They need here's the bottom line. Why would they lie? We got to talk about that. Why would they lie?
I was fascinated in because I think that's the baseline you got to get your arms around is that I talk about this all the time, Dave. You don't know much about my show, but that's what we talk about is orchestrated reality. I talk about how the mind is shaped, perspectives are shaped, and you don't question them anymore because they get buried in your subconscious, and that becomes your reality. Doesn't mean it is reality. It just means that reality has been orchestrated for you. I think you think the same thing.
Yeah, well, I know it. I know it for a fact. And I know that our thoughts create our reality. And that's what they don't want us to know. Our thoughts, listen, look at your life, Rob. Everything you have in it is your fault. Good or bad.
Right.
You manifested this radio show. You manifested this position. You manifested everything. And things to your life pointed you. Now, I believe our soul has a desired path, but we have free will. And sometimes we go off that path, and the farther off, excuse me.
I'm sick too.
No, I'm not sick. I just talk too much. I do too many shows. The farther off the path you get, the harder it gets. And then you get pulled back in. And now you're in alignment again. Alignment is going where your soul is trying to tell you. People are so lost in the sauce that their soul is always trying to talk to them, but their conscious mind is so lost in the news, NEWS, north, east, west, south, steering your mind away from the truth. It gives up sometimes, and that's when you lose your energy. You become depressed. You start doing drugs and stuff. I've seen the truth of flat Earth wake up so many people, take them out of drug addiction, take them off their their psychotic drugs, the antidepressants and stuff. Yep. I've seen people, their lives change over this. So your producer, we said, I don't really affect my life. It does affect your life more than you realize. Dave, why you're talking about flat Earth, child molestations going on, and child trafficking, and they're eating babies, and and all sorts of stuff. Why does this matter? Because that's how they get away with it. If you're lost in space, spinning out of control, don't know your true power, you'll never live to your full potential, and you'll allow this stuff to keep going on. We don't need to take over governments. We need to ignore them, right? If everyone ignored the government, what could the government do? Nothing.
Right.
Absolutely nothing. So who are they? Well, the short answer, which is the Council of Foreign Relations, the United Nations, the Bilderberg Group, Club of Rome.
What we talked about. That's
Royal Institute of International Affairs, and the Trilateral Commission.
That's right.
These are the puppets of the real controllers. These are the puppets that we see, and many people don't see them. So I think that the real controllers of our Earth are beyond the shoreline of Antarctica, living in another society, another area that we don't have access to. A lot of our world leaders, they go to Antarctica at the weirdest times. They disappear for 3 days. They come back to the base. They fly back, and they never say what they did. I think they're getting their marching orders.
Who went to Antarctica? Who was the guy that came back? And I think it was in the 50s and said that there was a whole civilization beyond Antarctica.
Yeah, so that's Admiral Byrd. And,
Byrd, that's it.
Yeah, and I think they changed the story. Like he said, when he said there's land bigger than the United States, beyond the South Pole. So for where he was coming from, beyond the South Pole would be in between Africa and Australia. I think somebody would have noticed land bigger than the United States if the Earth was a globe. And he said that filled with resources, and no human has ever set foot upon it. Well, why wouldn't all of the countries in the world want to go there and get the resources? Nope. They all agree there's no independent exploration of Antarctica south of 60 degrees. You can spend 40 grand and go to a little island off the tip of South America called, ready for this? The tourist spot is called Deception Island or Rothschild Island.
Really?
Yeah. Look it up. So why would they lie? Why would they lie? Why would they lie? Well, the truth of our world is quite incredible. They could be hiding free energy. I think they definitely are hiding free energy. They're hiding the creator, hiding your spirituality, hiding more land, hiding more resources, hiding scientific knowledge of what's in Antarctica, and that we're at the center of creation and that we're special. Take your pick. There's more. There's even more to that. But if you don't know that we are incredible, connected, powerful beings, there is no separation. We're all one in the system. And I believe that the old world, the Tataria, whatever you want to call it, that this was a living system and everything was working and everyone was connected. And that's why we have all the same buildings and everything all across the world.
Right.
There was a living energetic grid. There's thousands of pyramids and sphinxes and everything all across the earth. I think all of that was part of this living system, and something happened. I don't know who did it. All right.
Or why.
Yeah, or why, or exactly when, but I think it was like in the 1700s, maybe. There was a massive reset, but we're powerful beings. So how do you stop anybody from evolving? Bam, you put them in a mental prison, and that's the globe. The globe is, there's nothing left to discover, Truman. Everything's been discovered. You can't be an explorer, right? You put a man, I use an analogy. You got a lion, you put him in a square acre. He's going to just walk around the fence and want to get out. Put him in 50,000 acres. He'll see the fence. He'll be like, okay, I can just go the other way. No big deal. If I put you in 900 billion acres and you saw the fence, what are you going to do?
If you got me in 900 billion acres?
Yeah. You want to know what's on the other side of that fence.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I got you say.
Yeah. That's what human nature is. So they put us in an endless loop of nothingness. And the closest star is 25 trillion miles away. You know how long it takes to get there. So we're here. We're running out of resources. No, we're not. There's free energy everywhere. It's incredible. I've got a Tesla machine that literally is incredible. Fills my body with energy, heals everything, takes inflammation out of your body. It's absolutely fascinating. And you'll never hear about it. You'll never hear about these things.
Where'd you get this thing?
Mexico.
Really?
Yeah. If anybody's interested, you can reach out to me.
How do we find you? Because I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
I'm interested in Tesla just in general, but how do we find you? If people want to sign up, if people want to get your app, just go through all of the different ways to reach out.
Just flatearthdave.com. Everything is there. And by the way, my website's going to be changing a couple weeks. It's going to be way better, but there's a contact thing there. Just remember flatearthdave.com. All my socials are there. You can find all my stuff. Flat Earth Dave X. Follow me there. Flat Earth Dave X. Instagram, Flat Earth Dave. TikTok, Flat Earth Dave. What else is there? Facebook, Flat Earth Dave. Everything. But this is my machine. They're not cheap, okay? They're like 12 grand, just so you know, depending on what configuration you get. But they're absolutely amazing. So if anybody wants more information, you can just email me, info@theflatearthpodcast.com.
My man. I really enjoy that, brother. It's incredible. Well, Isaiah, what do you think?
I was going to say, I do have one question because I did remember this experiment, and you might have it in your FAQs. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you know about this. The light experiment. Do you remember that these supposed flat earthers set out with there's hole or something in these pieces of wood?
Yeah. So
you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. I know exactly because I know exactly about it. So the experiment is a great experiment. Right. You you can't do it on a road because the road could be level. It could be, you won't be able to tell, but it was next to a canal. So all the measurements were done off the surface of the water. Water at rest, lies flat. Oh, we got to just do one distance thing, but I'm going to talk about this and we'll do that and then we can wrap it up. So we had 3 pieces of plywood with a hole, tennis ball size hole, drilled out 8 feet above the water or whatever it was. And there were 3 miles apart. There was mile 1, mile 2. No, first one, then a mile, and then another, or maybe a mile and a half. I forget the distance. But the theory is, if the Earth is curved, the middle one would be higher, and you wouldn't be able to thread the needle with a laser. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So the laser is spread out. So we had to get the very expensive laser and had to get a condenser, and it was a whole thing. And then they turned on the laser, and before they could do the experiment, the laser melted, broken, right? So we're there. I wasn't there. And they're like, well, let's just try it with a lantern. And they hold a lantern, a bright light in front of it. And the guy on the other end goes, I can't see it. And then they're like, lift it up. And he lifts it up. So when you lift from your shoulder up, what's that, 2 feet? And the guy goes, oh, I can see it. And the guy doing the experiment goes, interesting. And that's where they cut the movie, right? That's it. That's all they put in. So then right after that, he brings it down. The guy goes, oh, I can see it. Wait a minute. You can see it now? And what it turned out was there was some trees in the middle and the leaves were blowing around and it was blocking, unblocking. But the fact that he saw it, you could say that proves that would be impossible on a globe, but everyone, Globers and Flat Earthers, all walked away going, too many variables, let's not make any claims. But the movie did it very deceptively. And the thing was, the Flat Earth, when you do these experiments, you need phones and batteries and cameras and tripods, and it's a lot of stuff. And it's a lot of equipment, and a lot of expense. But this people that were going to make this film, they said, yeah, we want to film it. And they're like, great, can we film it? They're like, yeah, you can film it, but you'll give us the footage. And they're like, absolutely, no problem. So they did it. They sold it to Netflix. And then they're like, we want the film. And they're like, no. They're like, we can't give it to you. And I think they actually started a lawsuit to get the film from them, but I don't know what happened to that, but they never got it. So if you believe in Netflix doing a hit piece that doesn't give you the full story, that's on you.
I didn't even know it's from Netflix. That's crazy.
It's from Netflix. And then the other thing is, wait a minute. When Flat Earthers actually do proof, and I'm going to show you the proof right now, you don't believe it. But when we prove the globe, you believe it? Wait a minute. What? Like, people are absolutely insane. So
that's what one of our advertisers said. He said the people who believe the globe theory will become flat earthers, but the flat earthers never become the globe believers. And so it's very interesting. You know, they'll come to the flat earth side, but the flat earthers know and have their proof, and they never come back. I thought that was interesting.
Right. Can either of you bring me 5 gallons of water without a container?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
When water, more than 4 millimeters deep of water is at rest, it lies flat. So here we have a lake or canal, and the water in it is stagnant and it was level. And when water is still and cold, it freezes and you have ice, which is also flat. All spheres have curvature, right? A golf ball, a yoga ball, the earth ball has curvature, and you can calculate how much of a curve there is by knowing the radius. And remember, Eratosthenes figured out the radius of the globe, which is 3959 miles. So we put a camera, a whole video documenting that all of this, there's no anomalies, there's no one denies it, 6 inches off the ice. And 8 miles, 7 miles, 6 miles, and 5 miles, we had these 4 colored lights 1 foot off of the ice. Now that doesn't seem like very far. Earth is so big, but using their globe math. Now, whenever we see something beyond the physical limitations of the globe, they scream refraction. Refraction is, you got moisture in the air, you got humidity, whatever, you got, and the light is wrapping up or, miraging over the ball, which is nonsense. And I can prove that. But they always add the refraction on the globe Earth calculator. Check this out. They have the calculator. They say, okay, the eye height, camera height, target distance, there's 80 feet missing. Well, we have something that's only 20 feet tall and we can see it. So then they have a refraction slider and you slide it, and it increases the radius of the Earth until you can see it. So they turn it and they go, oh, look, there's 12% refraction. They literally have a magic refraction bar that increases the radius of the Earth. And then when they get to the number where it says it wouldn't be blocked, they go, that's how much refraction there is. What? Right? So at these distance, we added 50% refraction, which you can't do, right? Because we're giving the globe the benefit of the doubt. This one would be 30 feet below the curve, 22 feet below the curve, 15 feet, and 9 feet below the curve. But they all show up on this flat plane. Weird. 2 options. 1, flat Earth camera. Lights across the flat ice. We see them. Option 2, camera 6 inches off the ice. Horizon, according to Globe Math, would be 0.88 miles away, less than a mile away. This first one's refracting up a little bit. This one's refracting up more. This one's refracting up more. And this one's refracting up more. Now, they don't refract up higher or lower where you wouldn't see them. They all magically stop at the tangent of the viewer.
Wow.
How dumb is that? How dumb is that? So let's do a real world observation, a video. Let me just show you. This is, we have these oil rigs here. And these oil rigs are, there's one here and there's one there. And the camera is 8 feet tall. This one is 6 miles away and the other one is 10 miles away, right? Doesn't seem like far again, but from 8 feet, according to Globe Math, the horizon is 3.5 miles away. So about halfway, we should have the horizon here. What does the horizon mean? When you look at a basketball, at the point where you can't see the surface of the ball anymore, that's because it's beyond the horizon, right? So if the horizon's here, how come we can see the surface of the water here? How come we can see it between them? And how come we can see it for miles beyond them? The horizon, every foot you go farther, it would have to refract up a different amount. They're claiming this is refraction. We can see the surface of the water from miles beyond the second rig, right? Let me show you what that looks like. So here we have a ball, and I've got these dots on it, right? I got these tacks on this ball.
Yep.
So I'm going to put it here, and you can only see the top tack here because the other ones are behind the curve. But if I refract them all up different amounts, now you can see them. You can see them. I go like that. You can see them just like we see the lights. So that's what you have to believe is happening with the lights. Or maybe they're just on a flat surface of ice.
Maybe the simplest answer is that it's flat.
Here's the thing. Flat Earth, in 2014, they used to laugh at us. They still come after us, but they have nothing. In all this time, they've got nothing. And one of the big claims was, if good luck getting a job, no one's ever going to hire you, you dumb flat earther. Well, guess what? Things have changed. There's so many of us now. We don't want to work with them, and we don't want them to work with us. I added a jobs board on here where we only want to work with flat earthers, hire flat earthers, or be hired by flat earthers. So people post jobs on there, and we're creating our own work.
Dave, we got to stay in contact. This is exactly what I'm trying to get. Isaiah and I talk about this all the time. You come from the corporate world. I come from the corporate world. Yep. You have to build your own infrastructure of free thinkers. You just can't. You deal with people. I know you see it probably way more than I do. But you deal with people that are so positive of things they can't possibly know that you can't really have a conversation with them.
Here's the thing. Let's say I was going to have some cabinets put in my kitchen, and I get 10 contractors that come, and they're all about the same quality. One of them might even be a tiny little bit less, but that's all subjective. But he's the only flat earther. Guess who I'm hiring?
Right.
So I say, so if people of different religions, a couple get together, that causes some friction in a marriage, like if they have strong beliefs. Well, being a flat earther and being in a relationship with a glober is difficult. It's really difficult because this is such an important topic. It's not a religion. It's such an important topic. The good news is the flat earther, if they're their spouse or partner has any intelligence, they will eventually wake up. And the globe earther has no hope of the flat earther coming back because they've already seen. But I created a dating site. If you click the heart, right? And I literally created a dating site. And so I said I'm 1 year old. That way I won't show up in anyone's searches.
Right.
I say, okay, give me these, this date range within 1,000 miles. And I could search. I favorited 20 of them. I'm just going to click the heart and it up comes all of the wonderful, awake, aware women that are near me that I can reach out. I can message them. I could do video calls. I could do all sorts of things. And there's already people married, babies, and everything because this is amazing. There's no dating site in the world that will match you up with somebody that you have more in common with every blue dot on this app than any dating site would ever get you.
It's so fast. I got a buddy of mine just texted me that I had no idea was involved with this. And he said, came to Flat Earth, same as Dave, tried to debunk it. The rest is history. Get the app. Best $3 you'll ever spend.
Full disclosure. The app's $3. It gives you 95% of the app. You can look for images. You can view the friend finder. There's a meetup maker, and if any meetups you can view the meetup maker. But you have to subscribe if you want to be able to do some searches. If you want to be able to create your own meetups. If you want to be able to message people. If you want to be able to create a profile. But the rest, you get everything else. That's $11 a year. Okay, $11 a year. That's like buying a margarita and not tipping the bartender.
Right.
But in the friend finder, if you click this middle button right here, this is the referral area, and you have a random number. You can just change it to whatever. You'll change it to Rob, and every time you talk about Flat Earth with somebody, you show them something. They go, "Where do I get that app?" You tell them to use your referral number, and then you get a point. And for every 11 points, you get a free year subscription.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love what you're doing, man. I really do. I think it's fascinating.
Yeah,
that was a fascinating show. I learned a ton because I came in. I said to Isaiah, I said, "Listen, open mind. Let's keep an open mind and let's see where this goes." Because I have people that really are on the exact same page with you, and I have people that that think it's just crazy. They weren't even interested in the show today. They're like, it's just ridiculous.
I unsubscribed from shows that talked about Flat Earth. I'm like, you're an idiot. You're dumb. I get messages every day. I ridiculed you. I trolled you. I attacked you. I badmouthed you. You're right. Sorry. Yeah. Right. And I'm like, it's all good, man. I love you. Love you. The old world page, you can start with the old world. Did you guys watch My Lunch Break?
No.
Write that down or just get the app in the old world page. It'll blow your mind. Let me tell you what happened with My Lunch Break.
Yeah.
He looks at buildings and stuff around the world, and he doesn't make any claims. He just shows you he shows you the positive claim by history. And it's all such garbage. It's incredible. He's on every platform. There's YouTube, TikTok, everything. But it'll blow your mind. And then this is what'll happen. You'll go out in your own hometown and you'll walk through town and you'll look around and you go, how did I miss that? How did I miss that my entire life? Like there's old world stuff everywhere. And then you'll ask yourself, how did I ever believe this? Right? The globe is so dumb. It's so dumb that once you see it, you wonder how you ever believed it.
Right. How do I get in contact with you? Do we have an email for him?
You have my email. You should.
Your email? Okay.
Yeah, you hit me up. I'll give you my phone number.
You got it. I want to combine forces because I left radio right in the middle of a show because I was getting animated about something. The people that were running the radio station got upset with me, so I resigned immediately. And they can't even find me yet. We're not even a month into this. So all the people that were listening to me, we had the #1 streamed radio news and talk station in the entire country. I leave right in the middle of a show. I'm still trying to regain my audience, right? They're still trying to find me. I want to get with people like you because I think that community that you're talking about, I think that's the way to do it. I'm 100% in agreement. I love what you're thinking. And I got to ask you one other thing, Dave.
Wait, one last thing. In the jobs board, there's a couple that have this incredible farm. It's called rawmilk.church. If you know about raw milk, it's amazing. Rawmilk.church, they literally are creating their own food system, and they're looking for people that want to change their lives. Like someone if you got a dead-end job, you got nothing going on, you can move to their farm, which is in Oregon, and they will train you and teach you and pay you and feed you and house you change your life. You'll become part of the family. And then they want to take these people and have them go to other states and start these same farms. So we have our own underground food system. If you're looking for a change, you got nothing going on in your life, you have no money, but you're willing to work hard, because farm work is hard, and willing to learn a new skill, you got to reach out to these guys. They're absolutely amazing.
I got the same thing going on in Florida. There's a guy named Jim Gale. He's running for president. He does food farms. He's trying to teach people how to live and get out of that system so that you can grow your own food and enjoy your life and be independent of the system that we now live in that seems to create a lot of anxiety and depression. I was going to tell you, when you were talking about Netflix, I missed that a little bit. Were you saying the Netflix did a sabotage piece, or did you think
they did a total hit piece? And there's two things in the movie. At one point, so I'll tell you the second one, because people will bring it up and you're like, oh, that's interesting. They're like, flat earthers spent $20,000 on a ring laser gyro. Now, gyros prove rigidity of space. Air flight, everything proves the earth is flat. But they say they got this special electronic heavy-duty laser. It cost $20,000. We didn't buy it. It was lent to us. And we're seeing if it measures a 15-degree hour shift, because it should. If the earth is spinning, it's spinning at 15 degrees per hour. And they did it, and it measured about a 15-degree per hour shift. And so Bob Nadell, who was doing the experiment, he was mic'd up, and they was off to the side, and he's talking to me. He's like, yeah, he goes 15 degrees per hour. He goes, we better not let the Globers have this, because they'll run wild. Right. And they used that clip, which is fine, but they took it out of context. We better not let the Globers have this, because we don't know whether it's the sky, the ether that's rotating, or the earth. We have to do the second half of the experiment, which they did, but they left it out of the movie. The second half of the experiment is they went up to 10,000 feet at the same latitude and did it again. Now, if the earth is rotating, that rotation speed would be exactly the same. If it's the sky that's rotating, it would be different, and it was different.
Wow.
So it's hard to wrap your mind around it, but if you understand the experiment, you understand that the experiment, the full experiment, actually proved that the sky is rotating and not the earth. Again, hit piece, Netflix. Netflix is part of the big machine.
Can I explain that? I was going to ask you if you know this. So I talk about this all the time. I'm a guy, if there's any expertise in me, I grew up in the corporate marketing world. I worked for Skechers, which was, they said we're a marketing company that sells shoes. I learned incredible marketing techniques from Skechers when I was there, and the people surrounding it just made an impression on me for the rest of my life. But I like propaganda and marketing and the way you convince the mind of something, right? I'm into that type of theory and so forth. Do you know that Mark Randolph, who started Netflix, was related to Bernays?
Bernays, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? And nobody even knows that. These are the people that twist your mind into outside of reality. And they even talk about it in the writings so that a secret group of people can control your every movement and thought and what you brainwashing you, the entire societies. They talk about it openly. And then you go Sigmund Freud, related to Edward Bernays, who talked about propaganda and public relations. And then you go right on to Mark Randolph. Is it Randolph or Rudolph? What is it?
Yeah, I mean, it's all one big Mark show.
And he's the Netflix guy.
Zuckerberg is Rockefeller's grandson.
Incredible that people don't know these things.
Yeah,
fascinating.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. The way they control us is through fear. We're in a spiritual war. The way you win a spiritual war is you convince people that it doesn't exist. They feed. They're demons. They feed off of our fear energy. It's called louche energy. It's just one word for it. And they need us to be in fear. They manipulate our minds with these shows, right? They the whole thing with the cruise ship now with the hantavirus, right? And they're getting us to try to put ourselves in fear and create this entire thing. It's absolute all nonsense. The beautiful thing is there's nothing to be afraid of. Yep. We're in control. They have nothing without our consent, but our ignorance is our consent.
Amen. Flat Earth Dave, loved it, man. That was a lot of fun for me. I learned a ton. I really appreciate you taking that much time with us. Brother, you were on for 2.5 hours going.
I told you it's gonna go longer. I always, every show I go on, the three things happen. It goes longer than they want. They invite me back, and it's one of the highest viewed segments. I went on InfoWars with Eddie Bravo, and it was the highest viewed segment in 26 years. Live segment.
I got a buddy of mine who's friendly with Eddie Bravo. He just mentioned it on there. He's a listener. He was skeptical coming on, but I'm watching him now. He's going. He's got me convinced.
Here's the thing. I don't want you to listen. I kind of do want you to be convinced just by listening to the show, but please don't do that. Take the time and learn. On my website, the crash course, start watching those videos. You'll love them. You'll be like, this is great. You know, people come home, they're like, hey, let's find a movie to watch. The movies are crap. They're all crap.
They are. They suck.
Right? But these movies are actually fantastic. And you'll watch, if you start watching the first 5, you're going to watch all, I think there's 50 or I don't know how many are in there. You'll watch all of them because they're amazing. They're absolutely amazing.
I'm into it. My wife is into this. We're from Florida. So my in-laws are really into the space program and this, that, and the other. So I'm going to get into this, dig into it. It'll be fantastic.
By the way, you're going to come across people in your life that are not going to look. They're not going to look. Like Larkin Rose, a great truther. He can't see flat Earth. He has a video called 5 Things Flat Earthers Will Never Address. I've addressed all of them, but he has the comments turned off. It was like 8 years ago, right? So I spoke at Acapulco first time 3 years ago for the last 3 years, and he was one of the key speakers there. And so I designed my entire presentation around his 5 points, and he's the only person at the conference that didn't come to listen. He's like, people are that far lost. So there will be people in your life that you cannot force this upon. Don't try. Don't try. Ask a question, plant a seed, say, hey, help me win these 3 Bitcoins. You know, watch the 20 Flat Earth 21 questions. Help me prove one of these, and I'll give you one of the Bitcoins. You know?
Yes, sir.
And it's only when you look can you see.
That's right. That's right.
You can lead a man to flat water, but you can't make him think critically about the shape of the earth.
Amen. All right, man. I appreciate you. That was a lot of fun for me. Flat Earth Dave, everybody. Check him out.
Do you ever do debates, Dave?
So debates are pointless because somebody is there to win. I do discussions like this.
Yes. Okay. That's what we call them too. Right. That's what we call them.
And then there's different people out there. There's ignorant people. Ignorance isn't a bad word. I was ignorant. I'm ignorant to everything I don't know. Yeah. Right? Ignorance. There are people that don't know, people that have beliefs, people that truly believe, and then there's anti-flat earthers. These are run by demons or government agents, whatever, same thing. And they're out here and there's nothing you can do. And they will just obfuscate and make up stuff. And
like the data centers.
But they're trying to drain your energy. Hey, I think those data centers are trying to wipe the memory of all the water on Earth.
Very interesting.
They're pushing them hard. I know that. We talk about it all the time. You know, it's just because we're in the politics of the game and these AI data centers, these people in the States, nobody wants them. The people don't want them. They're overwhelmingly throwing hits.
They're coming anyway.
They make them whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Have a great day, my friend. I'm going to be in touch. We're going to send you an email. We're going to find a way to connect some people.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, man. And any shows that would like to have me on to have this discussion, reach out. You can find me at flatearthdave.com. There's a contact button there.
That's how we were able to book them straight through his website. Very easy. Makes it super, super easy to get a hold of him.
And it's going to get a lot easier. I'm doing a little upgrade to the website.
That's what we're working on too.
Have a great day, Dave. Appreciate you.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, Isaiah. How about that?
Loved it. Oh my gosh, so good. I've never gotten to have an intelligent discussion, I guess you could call it, in a sense. You know, some people are going to say, "Oh, it's not intelligence," right? But like an actual intelligent discussion where you're bringing points, you're challenging things, getting answers, getting explanations. That it's not pointing a finger. You know what I mean? That's what everyone in the comments was doing to Dave that didn't agree. Is just like, no, you're wrong. You're a crackpot. You're crazy. Now, John was asking good questions. I will say, John was asking really good questions.
Let me guess. Right? The Vatican, who says the earth is round, is filled with demons, according to Dave. The biggest propaganda piece is the globe itself. You see it everywhere when classrooms to the beginning of from classrooms to the beginning of movies. It's the
like the universal logo. That's the globe. Yeah.
What do you think? What's your take on it? It's like I said, I have to do a little bit more.
I told you before we started when we were. I mean, this wasn't on the show. Me and you just talking. I said, "Hey, I've never been to space. I'm not an astronaut. I haven't been there. I've not seen it, and I'm from the show me state.
Yeah,
show me, baby. You know, show me the money." And so that's kind of my viewpoint, is that I can't dismiss someone's viewpoint just because I'm
willing to have the discussion. You know, it's what you and I were talking about. We talk about it all the time.
Yeah. And people will try to say like, oh, but you believe the Bible, but the Bible has so much evidence, like physical evidence. That's why that's one of the reasons I really believe it, is because of the physical evidence and historical evidence of the Bible. And I wrote a long paper on it, like a 20-page research paper, that because the archaeological and historical elements of the Bible are all true and have been proven but true by historians and archaeologists, then we should at least examine the spiritual aspects. And so, that's my view of this, is that there's so many things that he can kind of disprove, and from the globe theory, right? And then, globe theory will disprove him. So it's back and forth. You know what I mean? So
which translation John wants to know? John, I'm going to see you later on today. Don't forget, my brother. I'm going to see you. As soon as the show's over, I'm heading that direction.
For a verse I read, I use this one's an ESV. I read all kinds. I got my Greek one over here. I got an ASB. I'll read everything, John. Except King James.
King James, you're out.
No, I'm just teasing. I'll read King James, but it's corrupted, just so everyone knows.
Darth says, I do not say if you believe the earth is round, you are possessed, but you might be. The thing that gets me is,
I love that.
Here's what I like about Flat Earth Dave. Here's what I like about it. This just fits right in with what you and I believe. What's wrong with having this discussion? What does it hurt?
Yeah, that's...
Right? If you can't disprove something, I can't disprove it. You can't disprove it. Right. If you can, these people that were coming in and saying it's a waste of time and this is ridiculous, which was only a handful of people that I was expecting it to be more. I expect when I did the promo, everybody goes, see, Robb's a tinfoil hat lunatic, this kind of thing. And I'm like, listen, let's have some conversation about things that we don't really know anything about. That was my argument about Iran. I've got this guy that kind of heckles me. He's just been somebody that goes back to the radio days. He always believes that he's the smartest guy that's ever lived on the earth. And he says, well, we know what's going on in Iran. They've been trying to enrich and he goes on and on. I said, well, how do you know that? How do you know that to be true? How do you know that?
Has the media told you that? Is that why you know that?
It's crickets. Then he doesn't answer the question. But I'm trying to get him to think, maybe you don't know everything that you think you know. Is it possible that because you've been fed propaganda or fed a story, it may be true, Isaiah, right? It's not like everything is fake. But you don't know it to be true. You do not know whether that is true. So let's have some conversations. Let's talk it all out, because we're better through discussion. We're better when we don't say everybody who disagrees with me is a moron, or if it's a provable thing, that's different. But if it's not provable, if you can't prove it, then what's the hurt in discussing it and becoming closer as a society by learning things as we go, challenging perspectives? I think that's what life is supposed to be all about, is seeking truth, right?
Mm-hmm. We forgot to talk about satellites. Darn it, we're going to have Dave back on.
We'll send him an email. Let's get to a couple more advertisers here. Then can we run just a little bit late? Because I do want to get some Donald Trump news out on the table today. And we'll
I have like 15 minutes tops.
Okay. Let's go with Jones Water.
JonesWater.com. JonesWater.com.
Why are you so important all of a sudden over there, Isaiah? What do you got?
I have a pest guy coming today, and he's coming at 12:30. Yeah. They do the pest spraying every once in a while, and my wife found like 2 ants or something in the kitchen. She called them. They're just
ants are
bad. They're just coming back out. So
let's do Jones Water. He's not feeling good today, so I'll give him a nice little plug.
Oh no,
he said, I think I came down with what you got. JonesWater.com. JonesWater.com. 636-899-1040. You'll be the filter or you buy the filter. I'm just gonna say nice and simple today. If you want a happy, healthy home, you must have clean air and clean water. There's no other way around it. You're going to have sinus infections. You're going to get chest congestion. You're going to get skin issues. It does not matter. The air is funky in this world. The water you're drinking out of that tap is funky. You got to clean those things up if you want a happy, healthy home, especially if you have kids, grandparents living in the house. Got to take care of business. You'll be the filter or you buy the filter. Our guy is Everett Jones. Love his family. Love everything about it. Have not heard a negative word in the entire time he's been working with me. JonesWater.com, 636-899-1040, 636-899-1040. If you want to do business with Everett on the Missouri side, St. Charles County, Lincoln, Franklin, Warren, St. Louis, and Jefferson. If you want to go to the east side, if you live on the east side, Madison, Monroe, Jersey, and St. Clair. You'll be the filter or you'll buy the filter. JonesWater.com, 636-899-1040. RAK Custom Coatings.
RAK Custom Coatings. Let's do it.
See his work live and in person. I've been talking to him, getting to know him a little bit, and I can already say he's one of us. He's one of these guys that says, I believe in doing good business, Rob. I've been in business for a long time, since 2001. Locally owned and operated, family-owned operation since 2001. Somebody with an open mind may not agree with everything I say, but he does agree that I have the right to say it. Rich McQuay is the guy. He says will install industrial strength, long-lasting coatings built to handle anything your home or business can throw at it. And from garages to commercial spaces, RAK, R-A-K, Custom Coatings delivers tough, beautiful finishes that last, where quality meets craftsmanship. You can reach them at 636-398-540, 636-398-540, or RAK, R-A-K, customcoatings.com. Again, I'll remind you, if you are somebody that buys luxury cars or has a new home and just says, you know what, right now I want to get everything under control. I want it to look as beautiful as it possibly can. I'm just going to tell you my experience. I had a buddy do this for me when I lived out at Lake Forest, and we had a 4-car garage, and he did the flooring on it. I'm going to tell you, this is my take, and I told Rich when I talked to him, it completely changed the look of my home. We used to have this beautiful house, and we would drive into our garage. It had oil stains on it. It was concrete. It just looked crappy. As soon as we had the floor done, as soon as we opened the garage door, it just looked beautiful. It changed from the street, and when we came into our house, changed everything for us. Industrial spaces, garages, doesn't matter. RAK Custom Coatings, RAK customcoatings.com. Reach them at 636-398-540, 636-398-540. RAK Custom Coatings.com. Want to do Helen?
Your caring advisor?
I want to do your caring advisor. I think he's supposed to come on the show Friday, Rick, but I might have to cancel again on him. I've canceled him twice now. I've got court on Friday. I might not be here on Friday.
Oh, no.
I'm going to have to cancel for me. I don't want to tell you that story, but I got court on Friday, I think. Carrington Financial, your caring advisor.com. My man, Rick Bavetz, 314-671-0525. 2 people reached out to me yesterday, Rick, and they say they're going to get in touch with you. 314-671-0525. Rick Bavetz, your financial planning expert, biblical principles with your money. As he likes to say, Rob, the dominance of big brokerage firms and wirehouses has given even above average investors the impression that there is no alternative, that their choices are limited, and that switching to another advisor or firm would not make much difference in the outcome. Carrington Financial offers investors the alternative approach that they have been seeking. He's done great for me, great for my money, been a godsend for us because we were starting to panic there for just a bit when I was running out of cash. He's done a great job for our family. Financial planning expert, biblical principles with your money, Rick Bavetz, your caring advisor.com. 314-671-0525. He's been with us from the beginning. If you got money to protect, if you're nearing retirement, Rick Bavetz is your man. Who's next?
Advanced Wellness.
Just heard from Paul this morning. Advanced Wellness MED. There she is on the screen. AdvancedWellnessMed.com. Our doctor of choice is Dr. Helen Galhat. As she likes to say, we assist in the divine healer. And you can see her right there. This is a spiritual woman. I just dig her because she's been so supportive of me. She says, Rob, feel, think, look better, live longer. She has the earliest cancer detection blood test. Again, if you are somebody that has cancer in your family and you want to just get that peace of mind to figure out whether whether you are somebody who's susceptible to cancer, get that early screening. Just get it done. The earliest cancer detection blood test in the business, AdvancedWellnessMed.com. And the one thing that I want to get across to people, if you have somebody in your family with dementia or Alzheimer's, you've got to get a hold of Helen. They have Alzheimer and dementia symptom reversal plans, treatments. I don't know what you would call them, but I just happen to know a couple people that have went through this. Families, it can be really destructive to a family. And if you can reverse those symptoms, get out to Helen Gelhart. Check it out. AdvancedWellnessMed.com. Cancer control. She can give you pre-screenings for heart attacks to tell if you're susceptible for heart attacks, cancer. Just a wonderful person outside of the traditional medical establishment. So she can do things the right way. She's not beholden to any particular system that doesn't suit. She does the right thing for her patients. She'll put you in the right direction. She'll keep you healthy. AdvancedWellnessMed.com. Dr. Helen Gelhart. You can reach her at 314-576-0094. Again, she's in it for the right reasons. She's not in it to get rich. She's in it to make your life better, healthier, and happier. Dr. Helen Gelhart. 314-576-0094, or you can look her up at AdvancedWellnessMed.com. And then finally, if it's time for lunch, it's time for
yeah, baby.
Washington, Missouri. That is my pizza of choice, my family of choice. I love these people. Moe's Pizza out in Washington, Missouri, at the corner of Grand and 5th Street. As he likes to say, Rob, God owns the place. I just work here. all kinds of banquet space available for birthday parties, anniversaries, political meetings, and Bible studies. They're known for it. It's hard to get into them a little bit now, I believe. You got to get out and
that's what we found when we were trying to schedule something.
Exactly. It took us a month. You got to book them in advance because people love them. You know, when you go in there, because it's a family environment, you know, it's where you want to go. You know, you want to do business with the people that support us. It is
just like Dave was talking about.
Absolutely. Dave, we're going to build an infrastructure. We're going to do this. There's more and more people starting to understand if we all do business together, then everything starts to grow, and all these ailments, all this anxiety, all this trouble in the world, we begin to develop our own infrastructure, and it's going to be fantastic when it happens. It's starting to build. People are starting to recognize how to do it. I absolutely love it. God owns the place. He just works there. Moe's Pizza, a landmark in Washington, Missouri. If you're in the area, get out there, get yourself some pizza and salad bar, delicious sandwiches, chicken wings. And I got to tell you, with the ice cream. If you like ice cream, they got the best. Moe's Pizza. Get there. All right. I got a couple minutes left. Can I just get this out of the way?
Do it.
Okay. You know, everybody's getting mad at me because I'm questioning Donald Trump. And I'm not questioning him in the sense that everybody's dumb, right? But
you're not allowed to question the leader, okay?
I got to get a disclaimer every time because I don't want to alienate people who just think that, you know, everything he does is 5D chess. I don't believe that anymore. There are things that he said from the very beginning that raised my eyebrow, and I want to just bring your attention to how it's starting to manifest itself. When he ran in 2016, one of the things that bothered me was he was a big fan of eminent domain. Now, most people don't even know what eminent domain is. Isaiah does because he's an alderman now. Eminent domain means the government could come in and just take your property away from you. If they say that we're building a road here or we're doing this over here or whatever, they just take your land. To me, that's not freedom. Property rights means that you're free. And I know they might need to build that road. Too bad, so sad. That's my land. You got to build it around me, do whatever you need to do. But that's my land. I bought this. I own it. You don't get to have it. Right? So when he said he was a big proponent of eminent domain, I went, what? How is that freedom and liberty when you can just take my land from me at will? Because eventually, if the government wants to take your land and they just take it from you, that doesn't feel like freedom to me. So something's going down in Georgia that you're going to start hearing about over the course of the next couple of weeks. Let's play clip number 2. So this young lady, who reminds me of my daughter, by the way. She looks just like my daughter. And well, just reminds me of my daughter, but that doesn't look exactly, but reminds me of her. So I'm watching this clip and she says, Georgia Power down there in Georgia is going to take her home away from her because of AI data centers. And it went, John Rich caught on to it. John Rich is now trying to help. And you're going to see this story start to manifest itself. These are the kind of personalized stories.
MTG just posted this morning about it.
Exactly. These are the kind of personal stories that catch people's attention and they begin to grow. That's what needs to happen with the AI data centers because they're coming and we're going to have to stop them. We have to stop these AI data centers until we at least understand where they want to take it, what they want to do with it. We have to stop this because right now they're going to jam them right down your throat and you're going to have both political parties telling you why you need to have them. And it doesn't matter whether you like it or not. And that is not America, in my opinion. So this is what this young lady had to say. She went on into TikTok, made this particular statement. Here it is, clip number 2.
Hey you guys, my name's Ansley. I live in Coweta County, Georgia. I wanted to come out here and show you guys firsthand what is happening to our county. So as you can see behind me, we have these power lines. Georgia Power is going to expand these lines to support power to the data center. What they're doing to homeowners is they're taking their homes. This is my childhood home behind me. It is being taken by force by Georgia Power. Homeowners in this county do not have a choice. It is called eminent domain, and they will take it.
Okay, so they're going to take their property from her. So that went viral. She's cute, right? So people see that. They go, oh, I don't want this little girl's home taken from her. So it went viral. John Rich, if you can clip, he posted something, clip number 12. It's not a clip, really. It's just a statement that he made on X. So this is country singing star, apparently tight with Donald Trump. This is what he put out onto social media. If you can post it to make that easy for you, to make it hard.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's just, I like to do it so that we can, it's not a screenshot.
I try
that
to
way
make
we
it hard for you.
Zoom in.
It's really
zoom in on it.
There it is. I was tasked by President Trump to protect landowners from egregious behavior, including eminent domain, which Donald Trump's for, which is crazy. I'm calling on Georgia Power to connect with me, CEO Kim Green tomorrow. I've just received screenshots of your condemnation threats, letters, and we'll be posting them on X. So he got a hold of it. He's perpetuating the story. So is Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now let's go to clip number 6. This is what got me, and I talked about it way back in the day about Donald Trump being for eminent domain. And I don't know if people have seen the documentary where this guy overseas fights Donald Trump because he's got land and Donald Trump wants to build a golf course. And he talks about how Donald Trump just basically tried to ruin his life and create all kinds of problems for him because he wanted this land. And the guy said, this land has been in my family for generations. I don't really care how much. I don't live my life based on money. He can't buy me out. I'm not giving him the land. And it caused a whole scene overseas. It was crazy, that story that nobody seems to know. But here is Donald Trump talking about eminent domain back in 2015-16 timeframe. Clip number 6.
What do you think of eminent domain?
Well, I think eminent domain is wonderful.
Oh,
if
it's
you're building
wonderful.
a highway and you need to build, as an example, a highway and you're going to be blocked by a holdout, or in some cases it's a holdout. Just so you understand, nobody knows this better than I do because I built a lot of buildings in Manhattan, and you'll have 12 sites and you'll get 11 and you'll have the one holdout and you end up building around them and everything else. Okay, so I know it better than anybody. I think eminent domain for massive projects, for instance, you're going to create thousands of jobs and you have somebody that's in the way and you pay that person far more. Don't forget, eminent domain, they get a lot of money. And you need a house in a certain location because you're going to build this massive development that's going to employ thousands of people, or you're going to build a factory that without this little
Or
house,
AI data
you
centers.
can't build the factory. I think eminent domain is fine. Now, the Club for Growth doesn't like it because of me. They came to my office right upstairs. They said, would you give us $1 million? They
Right.
put it in writing. I
But
said,
back to the issue.
Well,
You
no,
said
no,
in
but think of it.
2005, you said you agree with the Kelo case in the U.S. Supreme Court 100%. And that basically upholds eminent domain.
If eminent domain, number one, a person has a house and they end up getting much more than the house is ever worth. You know, eminent domain.
You understand what he's talking about, Isaiah, here? You
these
guys
are
see the problem with
they're
some
not very
people and
smart
Donald
people,
Trump.
the Club for
The
Growth
issue.
people.
What was that?
Do you see the issue some people have with Donald Trump? I see it more clearly now than I once did. Not everybody lives their life based on monetary decision making. That's just not how they see the world, right? If you have land in your family, especially the way it used to be, you have land and that's your land. You want to be able to grow on it. You want to be able to live on it. There's history there, and you don't want to give up your land. You might have a farm out in rural Missouri, and there's no amount of money that would take that land from you because your grandparents grew up there. You raised your family there. You want that same scenery for generations to come, and you don't want to give up your land because somebody wants to build a highway through there.
Yeah.
Right. And in America, I thought that was part of the deal. But Donald Trump doesn't see it that way. His argument is we should pay him the money. We should pay him the money. And people who see the world through that lens are going to shake their heads yes. I mean, good Lord, it's only worth $700,000. They're going to give him $2 million for it. Well, some people go, the $2 million is irrelevant to me. I don't want it. And I just think people should have property rights in this country. And I do not think we should be giving the power to the government to take it away. And I understand the arguments. You don't have to get too worked up over it. I just think the arguments are feeble. You either have property rights or you don't. If you give those authorities to the government,
we're not free if that's the case.
We're not free. They tax you. They take your property from you. They surveil you. No longer do we have the freedoms that this country was founded on, in my opinion.
Yeah. Dave Ramsey, he always says, the buyer is slave to the lender, right? Because
slave to the lender.
Yeah, that's so true.
Right. Last one. So the same lady that came out, the same young girl that said eminent domain and Georgia Power were going to take her house from her. They were just going to take it by force. She got banned from TikTok the very next day. And this is what I'm talking about, what's going on in this country that we have to pay attention to. Freedom of speech, freedom of reach, the ability to get messages out are being destroyed in this country. And I'm just telling you, Isaiah's going to see it if he hasn't seen it already. You have a tough time. If you want to talk truth to people, if you want to have real conversations, discussions, if you will, the algorithms don't work in your favor. If you want to create division, if you want to say Democrats, 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 Republicans, 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 fight, they will push you out as far as you want to go. If you want to say, let's have a discussion, let's talk this thing out, let's let the world decide. Good luck. I promise it's already happened to me once. That's why I ended up on the radio in the first time, is because they took me off of every platform. And I'm just a little guy. I'm nobody. I'm not trying to say I'm some big shot. I'm not meaning that at all. I'm just saying that all of these little guys that are trying to get information out to people, trying to create discussion and conversation, the algorithms don't work in your favor. I promise you they don't work in your favor. We're already seeing it now. We're trying to work around these freaking algorithms. It's ridiculous.
I know.
All right. But here's what she had to say. She went out onto TikTok. Now, who bought TikTok? Does everybody remember who bought TikTok? Larry Ellison. Larry Ellison is behind the AI data centers. So let's just tie it together so people understand what is happening in our world right now. Donald Trump is aligned with Larry Ellison. Larry Ellison is the one who stole TikTok away from the original owners. Okay. So Larry Ellison is behind AI data centers and TikTok. This woman gets her message out on TikTok and they destroy her message. They kick her off of TikTok because Larry Ellison, who owns TikTok and is behind the AI data centers, has control of the situation. So the little person who's trying to get out a message gets taken down from TikTok, and here she is describing it. This is the same young lady who said Georgia Power is going to take her family home by force through eminent domain, which is something Donald Trump is all in favor for. I am not. Here's how she described her freedom of speech going away on TikTok. Larry Ellison is the man's name. Check it out.
Hello, my name is Ansley. I live in Coweta County, Georgia. We are Noonan, Sharpsburg, Grantville, Moreland, little bit all together there in Coweta County. I wanted to come on here today and talk about something that happened with my TikTok account. So I made 2 videos talking about how Georgia Power is taking families' homes and properties against their will. One of those being my own family. I have a personal connection to this story, which is why it's so important to me personally. Although nobody in this town wants a damn data center, our commissioners still approved it. So therefore, Georgia Power is using easement rights to force homeowners, longtime homeowners, old homeowners, into selling their family properties and their family homes so they can be torn down and power lines be extended to support these data centers. This is wrong on so many levels, but when I made these videos to speak out against it, TikTok banned my videos. They said that they're a violation of community guidelines. I never violated any community guidelines. I only came on here to tell the truth about what's happening in Coweta County, Georgia. This is happening to at least 30 people. Some of them are elderly, cannot handle this on their own. Some of these people have families. Some of these properties have been passed down by generation to generation. This is not an option for Coweta County homeowners.
Wow.
Amazing, isn't it? What's going on in the world, and it's going underneath the nose of everybody, because until it affects you, it doesn't matter. That's the way the human mind works. If it doesn't affect you, it doesn't matter. And I just say that we gotta pay attention to these things as they begin to develop, because it's a dangerous world we're living in. Get crazy. Have fun though. Let's enjoy life. Let's do it in a joyous manner in the name of Jesus. Let's just do it joyfully.
People think you're just always mad, and you're they think that after you get off the show, you're just, I'm so mad. They don't know. They don't know that you just let it go and kind of forget about it.
This is to get information out. I get frustrated sometimes because people get off track a little bit. But in the end of the day, as you know, Isaiah, what a great world we live in. It's a great time to be alive. We have fun with it, and we'll keep on rolling. Go enjoy your day. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. on the Robb Carter Show. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Like and share, like and share, like and share. We'll see you tomorrow morning.